friends home. I don't wanna see another sunset.
She don't wanna see another sunset where the stars don't show, cause the clouds are upset for me. Told you I was trying, change your mind and I'm dying. You don't wanna see another star fall from the sky like that. You don't wanna see me fall from grace. Maybe I was trapped, but you never had my back. Fall for the sake of love, and I felt so miserably. Yeah, you could've hit me up, I never lost my love. I was hoping you would call back. I know that I'm far from greatness, and the way we trade places. Had to stop for a moment, you can see it in my eyes that I'm hoping.
It's been 18 days since I kept her waiting. Probably won't last for another 18. She asked me where I'm at when it comes to dating. Can't you see that I don't wanna talk yet? And I probably won't answer if you call my phone. Always asking why I put her in a friend zone. Saying she nearby at another friend's home. I don't wanna see another sunset. You don't wanna see me fall like that. Wipe the tears off the blade when you pull it out my bag. When you told me you could die just to keep me like that. When I looked you in her eyes and I heard your voice cry. Baby, it was love, baby, it was tough. Maybe it's enough. Lost a lot of blood, left me in the cut. Baby, it was trust, baby, now it's dust. Crying to my cuz, leaning on my bruh, twisted in my gut. It's been 18 days since I kept her waiting. Probably won't last for another 18. She asked me where I'm at when it comes to dating. Can't you see that I don't wanna talk yet? And I probably won't answer if you call my phone. Always asking why I put her in a friend zone. Saying she nearby at another friend's home. I don't wanna see another sunset. It's been 18 days since I kept her waiting. Probably won't last for another 18. She asked me where I'm at when it comes to dating. Can't you see that I don't wanna talk yet? And I probably won't answer if you call my phone. Always asking why I put her in a friend zone. Saying she nearby at another friend's home. I don't wanna see another sunset. I don't wanna see another sunset. I don't wanna see another sunset.
Yeah. Baby, yeah. Just wanna get you close. Just wanna get you close, you close. Just wanna get you close. Just wanna get you close, you close. Just wanna get you close. Just wanna get you close, you close. Just wanna get you close. So me know you full of chat. Oh, your wine bunny dance slow song, you go give me heart attack. You got me, you got me, you got me, and girl, you know that. How the whole damn thing right up, cause girl, you are stuck. And yeah, you know that, girl, yeah, you know that I'm a wife. Show me all kind of thing, girl, slowly. You got me, you got me, you got me, only. Don't waste don't know that body on a million. Girl, oh my God, I need you to tell me where you come from, oh, where you come from. Can't tell the boy where you come from, oh, oh la 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 la. Girl, oh your bad, so speed that melody where you want, so shut down the place if you want to. Matter of fact, anything you want to. All the boys screaming, oh my God, baby, when you do it like that, come a little close, closer. No wife, show me all kind of thing slowly. You got me only. Don't waste no time, just whine and show me. Me I pull you closer. 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 Just wanna get you closer. Just wanna get you close, you close. Just wanna get you closer. Just wanna get you close, you close. Just wanna get you closer. Just wanna get you close, you close. Just wanna get you closer. No wife, show me all kind of thing slowly. You got me only. Don't waste no time, just whine and show me. Me I pull you closer. Me I pull you closer.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, welcome to Island's Girl Talk. Oh my gosh, guys. We're so excited today. Today, we are your hosts, Miss Krystal, Khayne. We have
Trinidad, Shawna,
and we have
Neicy official.
Yeah, you lovely ladies of Island Girl Talk. We need house today, Olia. We already have some people in the chat room waiting patiently. We love how you guys is coming early and just,
on time.
On time. They
on
better at time management than we, You understand? Anyway, it's another week, another episode 10.
Imagine 10
Only see things.
But look at that Nailah coming for the 10th.
We should have a giveaway today, but don't worry, things coming.
Next.
Don't you worry, never fear. Well, guys, before we get into it, I have a couple things to say, a couple announcements, right? As you all know, our first year anniversary, O.U.R. Radio's first year anniversary is about to pop off on June 4th, right? So let me give all you the official announcements here. Right? Saturday, June 4th, we head to Silhouette's Lounge for O.U.R. Radio's first year anniversary party. We are calling all our fans and supporters to come out and celebrate with us with our on-air personalities, that's us, and our favorite artists for free. For free, yeah? You know we like freeness. We like freeness, but you have to get listed because listed patrons are free before 12. So if you're not listed or you come after 12, you have to pay $100. But I small thing, right?
The vibe's nice.
But we know they like freeness now, so all you need to get listed. How we doing that? Simply send your full names, no nickname, your full names to our WhatsApp. I almost say O.U.R. WhatsApp. Send your full names to our WhatsApp, which is 4664OUR. That's 4664687. Or email party@OURradio.fm. That's party@OURradio.fm. Very simple, right? Either text us on WhatsApp or send us an email, all right? So keep it locked to O.U.R. Radio FM for guest artist announcements and much more info. All right?
No sliding in DMs, guys. we're not taking listens with DMs. No.
Oh, gosh. So that's it. I mean, guys, we're excited. You all know why we're excited. We've got none other than the amazing Nailah Blackman coming in a little later. She's running a little behind, but she has assured us that she's on her way. So we're going to just get into our topic of the day. Right? While we wait for our little superstar right here to pass through.
Girl.
Yeah, the watermelon girl, and bless us with her. Right?
Because at Island Girl Talk, we take care of our own, okay?
You understand?
Our own, okay?
Oh gosh, guys, how was your weekend? Your week? I know a lot has happened. Let's talk.
You wanna go first?
I still recovering.
You're still recovering? Well, what you went through, so?
Listen. Sleep is a thing of the past.
I think so too, yes. I
best
forget what
friend.
that feels
I
like.
think I
I'm
spoke to
always
Krystal
tired.
sometime over the weekend. Krystal like, Neicy,
Yeah, boy. My father will tell me I need to go to the doctor to see
Krystal,
why
are
my
you
body keeps
okay?
shutting down like this. I am so tired all the
Yeah.
time. I can't take it.
But the thing
You
is,
know?
it's not like a lazy tiredness.
No.
It's you're really pushing your body beyond its capacity right now.
Not to mention that challenge we just started, right? You didn't start the challenge.
I started it on my
You,
listen.
Shawna.
I on day what?
should have
3?
lost. I'm on day
It's a
3.
fitness challenge. You were tagging it,
You were
Shawna.
tagged. And just the other day she was talking just the other day we were talking about
But-
exercising and you
listen.
said you wanted motivation.
Yeah.
Our friend, big up J Cam Fitness in the house. We will bring her on one day.
Because my feet hurting.
We'll
my
bring
legs
her on.
hurting, So I don't know if I still feeling the love
Only
with
I
J
was
Cam Pride out.
partying weekend, so I don't know about no fitness.
True. But to be fair, we sent it before the
sent
wedding,
it.
eh?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No,
Right?
my
It
bad.
is a 31-day challenge where every day she gives us a challenging exercise to do.
No, very
challenging
challenging. And
exercise.
it is focused on your legs and butt and
Yes.
stuff.
How much
So
before the wedding?
Maybe a couple days.
Nah, well then come
Well,
on,
all right, all
man.
right.
I think
Well,
we
you
are
could
on,
still
hello.
start.
Never did 100
busy.
squats in my life in one session.
I did it
Why
last
am
night.
I doing that now? Like, I don't understand this.
So JCam Fitness, we beginning up today on Island Girl Talk because I'm feeling the burn already. My legs on fire. So big up JCam Fitness. Big up you.
We go figure out if she getting big up at the end of the show because
Alright.
my legs still hurting.
How will I walk up the stairs today then?
You didn't see?
In
It was
flats.
right behind
in
my MC.
flats. In flats. We did it in flats.
So tell us about we know
Fancy
you was
wedding.
maid of honor.
Oh yes. It
Right?
was,
So the viral wedding, it went
Yes,
viral.
well, it went viral.
Yes.
Yes. She did her wedding at the Nailah pool. It was like the
Yes.
most amazing experience. So they had the glass bottom boat for like family and her family and her immediate friends. And the bride entered on a separate vessel, so not to say we come in through with the same one.
Right.
So they were waiting on the sea just as you would sit and wait in the church. And then we
That is
pull
so
up
nice.
in the next
That's
boat.
creative too.
And funny
Original.
enough, the guy who they used, so they hired for the second boat, well, of course, he filled his wife in on the fact that it was a wedding he was doing. And his wife went all out. So she put balloons on his boat. And then she had, listen, we were sipping wine before the girl got married. You know, the wife made sure we had wine and glasses. So it was so nice. So we had a little sip of wine and it was like anxiety and nerves. There was so much.
Yes.
I was just smiling. Like I don't know what to do with my face. My face was just ridiculous. And then eventually we stepped off of the boat and then we stepped into the water and we walked down the aisle and we did everything in the middle
water.
of the water.
Oh,
In the middle
tell
of the
me,
ocean.
so is that the first time they had ever had a wedding done in Nailah
I
pool?
believe so. I have never
Amazing.
heard
I think
of
you're
any
giving the
before.
whole of Trinidad ideas now.
Yeah.
I see
Whose
somebody-
idea was that though?
I see somebody comment and say, well, I want to be the first person to get married in Coral River.
She needs any worse to go. Like, we have this moment before you start with the memes now.
Yeah.
Before you start to meme it now.
Oh
Like,
my
we have
gosh.
this moment. But
Yeah.
what was the reason for getting married in Island Pool? Because I
I
know about the
don't-
myth. Is it
I
a
heard
myth?
that too.
Yeah,
Like
I
if
heard,
they kiss, they'll
yeah,
never-
you would never break up.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Me and my bae at the time, we went and the guy who was giving the tour was, they was giving like a little bit of history about the place and he was
Yeah.
like, if you kiss while you're in the Island
Yeah,
Pool,
yeah.
like the relationship will
Last,
last.
I heard about that.
We did kiss, so maybe that's why we break up.
Oh God.
We did kiss. We
But
did kiss.
I don't think she had any of those reasons. I just think because from what she told me, it's something that they always wanted to do.
That's
And I don't know
really
if,
nice.
well, Kelsey's family is from Tobago.
Oh,
Yeah, her dad
okay,
is,
okay,
the
it makes
Beans.
sense.
So I
Nice.
don't know if they probably joked about it, and then I remember Kelsey telling me that that yes, that's a great thing. Like I want to do that. So I guess in the joke they decided that no, we're gonna go all out and do this. So they got it done.
What was
it looked
interesting
beautiful.
to me,
Was
knowing that Kelsey is the dancer, na.
yeah.
And the whole dance community was literally in
Yeah.
Tobago.
But
like
her husband-
everybody who I know in dance culture in Trinidad was
Was there.
Tobago.
Her husband is a professional dancer as well. They
Yes.
both dance, so it was just A match
I felt
made in
left out
dance
that 'cause
heaven.
I felt like, I just dance sometimes too. I get invite,
And even in the water, so like the family couldn't wait because although they were on the glass bottom boat, they couldn't help themselves. So everybody came down in the water after to tell her congratulations. We didn't even need to reach there. So everybody was in the water. All the kids were playing on the water, bathing in the water. So they had some cool family shots where you take a picture and the family stand up in the front with their dresses and they're looking nice, and the kids are actually in the water swimming in the pic. So you have your kids lined up in the bottom in the water swimming, and the adults standing up in the back. It was a magical
I see
thing to
persons
witness.
in full, like it was no bikinis were inside, full dress code wet.
And we had 2 outfits. So we had outfits
Yes, I
for
saw
that.
that. A
And
blue
then we had our
and
next
a
outfit
peach.
for the reception. So the
Yes.
reception was more like a fete.
Yes, I
Dancers,
saw that.
come on.
Can we say their names? Kelsey and
Yes, Kelsey, she's now Kelsey McLean. And Matthew McLean.
and Matthew. So Kelsey and Matthew, big up you.
And
right?
Congratulations.
Congrats. And don't be surprised if you see us other people following suit,
course.
myself included, because that looks so nice to me,
Listen,
Shawna, let me tell
listen.
you.
It
I was like, now that is me in print, because I'm anything but a traditional type of girl. I was like, oh gosh, but that's an
It was
original
interesting.
idea.
It was.
Yeah.
I always like the concept of a beach wedding,
Yes.
like on the sand with the breeze blowing.
Yeah.
But that's taking it
It
to a
took-
whole
yes.
new
Yeah, yeah.
level.
Yes.
She even told me, even the pastor says, how was I supposed to dress for this? And if you notice, how you want your boy come out in his shorts and his hat.
He's
That's
supposed
right.
to come out and dive in there.
All right, guys. Well, you know what? Let's get into it one time, because we're talking about how busy our schedule is now, especially now that everything has opened up after that whole 2-year pause with the pandemic and stuff. Things more essentially is back in a gear when it comes to work. So, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about work-life balance, or balancing work and personal life. So, and we want to give you all some tips, because a lot of people, they just don't know. Some people are just all about their work, and only when it's too late they realize that their personal life is suffering. They might be lonely, they might, they alienated a few people as a result, and that kind of thing. So we're gonna get into it a little bit. So first off, what's the definition of work-life balance?
Well,
Shawna?
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. So basically, it's balancing your work life and your leisure time. So more well put, it's balancing your priorities, your time, your focus with work as well as family, and that also includes leisure time, romance, anything.
Yes.
So you're balancing work and all of those other aspects.
I see. I think we could all relate to that. I mean, you are relative, apart from this busy weekend, you are a girl, I realize, since working with you, even with this show, that you are extremely busy all the time. It seems like you never have time for yourself. The same with you, Neicy, with all the pots you have your hand in. You have a lot of stuff bubbling, and myself included, as you guys know, as an entertainer. So tell us a little bit about how all the stuff that you all have to deal with and how you all manage to balance work and life.
Yeah. For me, it's still a struggle. I am still awful at time management. And my problem is, as you mentioned, as creatives, we tend to do numerous things. It's not just you're sitting at 8 or 4 job and you have one task for the day. It's not that. We are doing different things. So it's
Yes,
if
as
it's-
creatives, you're busy.
creatives, yeah. So if it's a dance project, we managing something with the school. For me, it's my math lessons, the math lessons business, and then the show, and then there are so many different aspects that need your time, because apart from just being present for the moment, you have to prepare for the moment.
Yeah.
So all my dance classes takes time to prepare. All my maths classes, especially if new students come in and they say, well, this is what we're doing in school right now. I need help in this area. I need help with this. So, it's a lot of pre-preparation. And I feel like I'm spinning top in mud.
We see it. We see how stressed it is be too. Oh, y'all, after we finish a show, Shawna, those stick,
Shawna be like, come, let me take that pictures
we
quick.
take
Yeah,
her
go, we
2-3 pictures, quick.
Let me go.
And she gone. Because she had to get to her
Yeah,
class in the
on
next
time.
hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I hear you. I see you juggling. I see you juggling. Not struggling, juggling. Juggling.
Struggling.
Neicy,
The
what about,
jungle is real. The jungle is real. The jungle is real.
Neicy, what about you?
For me, what is be the challenging part? I like the adventure. I like doing different things. I get bored very quickly. But it's like when you get yourself like in a nice routine and then something up and change and you had to kind of like figure out this routine all over again and then you work on it, you get back in a routine and it's one little change and it's back to this kind of always, that dynamic of always changing. For me, that's like juggling with entertainment. Because I write for a professional blog called Caribbean Entertainment Hub. So not just writing for that, but also like doing the research to say, okay, what trending now to kind of stay on top of trends, right? Outside of that, I also edit for other writers and stuff like that. So just being in front of a computer 24/7, tailored, like that is be a task on its own, and you can't like with entertainment, you can't miss stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, I noticed that the space I enter now, I need the balance, and the balance requires me to unplug. So it kind of works against the fact that for me to balance, I need to unplug, but if I unplug, I can miss something. I come back on and there's something trending and like you had to be.
That's your whole job.
That is my job. That is my job. And outside of that as well, I do social media marketing and management. And this is real weird for me because it's like I just want to uninstall every app on my phone and just seal off it. Like when my day done, I just want to like press pause, put phone on airplane mode and go. But my job requires me to be checking clients' inbox, replying to messages, updates with clients. Everybody, your phone ringing every minute. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants something and they want it now. You know, so it is be a lot sometimes. I try to stay on top of everything. I try to stay in terms of like communicating with people, but like sometimes it's really, really be stressful.
Yeah. We feel it too because sometimes you'll be trying to get on to Neicy and she's like, can't talk now because she's writing. And she can't deal with whatever is coming peripherally because she has to stay in that writing mode. Otherwise, something can come through her off. You know what I mean? So when she is focused on that writing, she can't be sidetracked by anything. So I see that you handle that in a good way as well.
That is something I now started to implement because I used to be like, as soon as the phone beep, I leave this to come here to do this, and then that carry me down a road, and then somebody might call, and then I realized like, okay, what I was doing before all of this started.
Right.
So now trying to be a little disciplined with like, okay, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and then somebody might call, and their thing is important. It is important to me, but I can't focus on it right at that moment. You know.
The thing that you mentioned just now with the unplugging at the end of the day, that's literally how I feel, and I think that's not my strength. So my business partner, so we gave each other roles in the math block, and I will do the social media marketing, but I do not consult with parents.
Okay.
So she will, I do, because they obviously the teacher, so they will want to message and find out updates. But I mean, like, if new people come in and they want to know what's the times and what's this and what's that, she deals with that. So
Parents
I don't
could
have
be a
that.
trip too, eh?
What? I love, sometimes when a difficult parent call me, just be entertaining, because I reach a point in my life where it doesn't even bother me anymore. But I just know that they have so much care, like they just... and
if people's skills is coming to all of this, especially like if you're in a area where you had to interact with people a lot. Like I'm a people person, but sometimes people just drain me. So I just need to kind of just separate to charge back up. And people, because every time they interact with you, it might be pleasant and you're always friendly and bubbly, they just want that all the time. I could be tired and there's like, something wrong? Did I do something? No, I just tired. I just really tired.
Well, you all know how it is with me on the weekends. Mainly. I mean, after, like I said, the pandemic and how it affected artists all over the place. Even you guys who not in the actual live performing aspect of it, but you all still felt it. And now that things have opened back up and stuff, you know, most people work during the week. My week is on the weekends, if you know what I mean. So
but your prepping happens during the week.
My prepping happens during the week, but on the weekend, let's say from Friday to Sunday, sometimes Thursday to Sunday, I am gigging. You know what I mean? And I do the circuit. I'm in Trinidad. I'm more of a circuit artist where I do the corporate events, you know, the weddings.
You're very diverse.
All the genres. I do the restaurants, the lounges. I do everything, and I do everything. And everywhere. The only thing that I wouldn't do is like boat rides. Something about
emotion,
something about being on the water and can't leave when you're ready to leave. That is trap. I just listen.
You have a jetty on standby, Chris.
Thank you. I need to
jetty on standby.
Because as a girl, when I perform, I like to just pack up and leave right after. Now my work done, I go on. You know. But yes, so I mean, now that things are picking up, I find that every weekend now, And I don't even bother to try and have time for myself on the weekend. I just do what I have to do, and then right after that is immediate prepping for this show, right, and scripting for the show and that kind of thing. And as you guys know, as a side hustle, real estate, right? But I hear y'all in terms of the time, like it just literally was a 180-degree change for me, because you went from 2 years of like all your work, all everything your livelihood, everything is compromised because of the pandemic, and that stayed that way for 2 years, and then like that everything starts back up. And it's like you feel like you're busier more than you've ever been.
And on top of that, I don't know if this happened with you ladies. When things pick back up because of what we just went through, you don't want to like take nothing for granted. So as soon as it comes, you just like, yes.
That's me.
Because now
me.
just going through what I just went through in entertainment, like literally when 2020 started, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to see the end of this year, because I just started to see dates on my calendar going.
Yeah.
And then as the pandemic hit, dates just started to come back.
Yeah.
And it was like going through that for that period to now be back in a space where things happening, but at the same time, you feel like it could have changed back.
Yeah.
Like any given moment, it could change back.
The anxiety of it all.
You feel the need to kind of just like, okay, let me just do as much as we can and try to put ourselves in a good position just in case something happens.
Just in case. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I was mentioning before when I said sometimes it's not just the moment, it's the preparation of the moment. So thinking of you just now, as Chris mentioned before, she is the producer of the show. So she will, for us, script the entire show, which that preparation takes time.
Girl.
So I could imagine that coming right after all of your gigs. You just have a short window to script the entire show and get it out in a timely fashion so that we could have meetings and discuss everything.
And even sometimes the meetings with us, like getting everybody in the same place at the same time to have a conversation and make sure everybody on the same, everybody understand what everything is even me. I think because Shawna might be available, I'm not available. Or we are available, Chris, you understand what I'm saying? So it's just that dynamic of...
But we get it done.
We get it done.
For you guys. For you guys.
Yeah, what? So let's turn it over to the chat room, because we know this is what this show is about, our peoples. So I'm going to start from the top. We have Carrie-Ann Bernard, right? I mean, stay fan of IGT. Carrie-Ann, big up you, darling. She says, we reach.
She says, we reach.
She says, hello, ladies. Looking good as always. Big up y'all. No, Carrie-Ann. Big up you. We have Tavern Jetua saying, we out here.
Yes.
Right? He also says, I have a feeling this is going to be a really good show. We too. We have KK Joseph saying, all you're looking good. Steam it up today. Oh, God. I feel like the spiciness. They like the steam. They like the steam. Carrie-Ann goes on to say, Tavern Jetua, it's been real from the moment this show was created. Oh, God.
Oh, listen. No more
Don't make Neicy cry, Olia.
Don't let me come and take.
Don't make Neicy cry.
Meme.
Right?
Don't make Neicy cry.
Adina and Motivation. Oh, hi, Adina. I think she's new. Adina. Is she new?
Yeah, she said she was definitely going to be here today because she loves Nailah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a very talented photographer and motivational speaker. So big up you.
Nice.
Well, we just heard from Nailah's manager. She's on her way. So we holding on. We holding on. Right, Adina, big up you. She says good vibes. Thank you, darling. Then Carrie-Ann goes on to say, don't forget to like and follow and share. Spreading the love, y'all. This is our PR person.
Best,
Let me jump on that one time. Y'all, like the live. Share the live. You understand? And subscribe too, so you will get the notification when we're on. I mean, do it. I love Carrie-Ann. You and Easy, girl.
For sure. She
in marketing. Right? Tavern goes on to say, yeah, Carrie-Ann, I know, right? Adina says, awesome. She says, I'm waiting on my girl. She mixing matter. She waiting for Nailah. Carrie-Ann says, big 10 blessings. Nice. Thank you. Ron says, we out there.
Yeah.
Adina says, big up Neicy. Carrie-Ann says, for me, for free, meaning for the party. She then says, come on, people, let's get this episode. Patience. We still have a topic to cover.
Let me talk.
Right, let me talk. Neicy says, Carrie-Ann says, Neicy, you can do anything. Right? Then she
Thank
says,
you.
then she says, yes, the wedding was amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shawna. Then Adina says, I feel you, Neicy. Keep pushing and having discipline, talking about work-life balance and that kind of thing. KTC is in the house. Big up KTC. If you all didn't know before, we have a new feature on our Instagram that Neicy brought up where it's called Fan Love or Fan, what is it?
Yeah,
Fan Love Saturdays.
Fan Love Saturdays, where we give one of our fans, our repeating fans who is always on the chat room, love, and we big them up and we feature them on our platform. So KTC was our first one that we gave fan love to. So KTC, big up you, darling.
We fangirling here too.
We fangirling, yes. KTC says, hi queens. Yes, that wedding was absolutely amazing. The best wedding I've attended.
KTC
was there too.
We saw the fashion. Just saying. Okay.
Good wine down the place.
She look real good.
Real true in ways too. I see you know, Katie. Then Carrie Ann says 17 people only and 1 like. Come on, people, like up the like. Carrie Ann, you are a bop. And then the last one for now, Julian says, first time here, international quality. Thank you, Julian. We appreciate and welcome to Island Girl
Welcome
Talk.
and
Big up Ananias.
Yes. Also big up our tech guy in the background, Ananias, doing such a fabulous job.
As always.
Right?
That's
As
why
always.
we have the international quality.
Right?
Backdrops, everything.
We just try to get him to chime in as well. We don't know if he'll be lucky today.
No, trust me. When we saying something that he disagree with,
he does just turn around and look at us like
what man is already talking. You know? All right, guys. So we're gonna get back into it. Today, our topic is talking about work-life balance, and that's basically managing your life, managing your work life, balancing it with your personal life, your family life, your romantic life, you know, your leisurely time, and that kind of thing. And we find that a lot of people struggle with that, right? Ourselves included. So we're gonna touch on a couple of things that could happen if you don't balance your life properly. Right? And then a little later on, we're going to, you know, give you a few tips to figure it out, to help all you figure it out. Right? So the first thing, I'll bring up one. Right? One thing that can happen if you don't, and I'm bringing this up too because I personally am experiencing it right now. One thing that could happen if you don't manage your work life and your professional, your professional life and your private life is fatigue. You could end up being very tired. And when you're tired, your ability to work productively and function can dwindle. It can suffer. Right? So, which could take a toll on your professional reputation too, you know, and it could lead to costly mistakes and stuff if you're not up on your game and that kind of thing. So, I mean, that happens to me all the time. I have not, you know, suffered any costly results as yet, thank God. But there are times like Neicy, when you talked to me last week, I couldn't move. Like I could feel the weight of my limbs. I could feel how heavy my body was feeling. I just could not function and I slept for hours. And even after sleeping, I got up and I was still tired.
Because at that point, it's not a thing that sleep could fix. It's not about your body being physical. It's like a mental tiredness as well. So you kind of need to kind of unplug and like just deactivate for a bit to charge back up. It's not something that you could sleep 24 hours and still wake up feeling tired.
It's hard for me to unplug too, because sometimes you try to take that phone off, but you know, emails coming in, you know, you had to be up on game, you had to check this, check that, and then I find myself in like an addict on the phone. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. I might need to take a little trip up by my friend farm and meditate in the forest.
I try to do a 1 day a week type of thing, Sundays or half of a Sunday, where I just like like nobody can get on to me. I really don't care. Like I just need it. You know. And it really does help. It really does help quiet the mind. This is how the thing says it's a quiet the mind, but we're not saying that. It involves cookies.
Oh gosh.
But that is one of the thing is that has helped a lot, but at the same time you don't want to be addicted.
Them cookies though. You had
my innocent mind, here's something to quiet the mind. Let me sit down here, meditation. I think of meditation. I know it's not that type of meditation.
To be fair, I tried these cookies too, but you can't take them cookies unless you know you have the whole day tomorrow
because
free.
The sleep and stuff that is but it's it does help me with the mind. That's slowing down your brain.
Yeah.
It does slow down your brain. It shuts your brain off.
Well, I try to make it sound nice.
Let's tell the people when we talking. Let's just be real. This is Island Girl Talk.
Yes.
Right? This is not a show for children. So parents, if it is that you have your babies around, it is up to you whether you want to keep them in on this. All right?
What she said.
But what we're talking about are edibles.
Listen.
And not me again, partner, because I take this so-called cookie. I ate a quarter of the cookie, and that thing wiped out my whole day the next day. I just have no record. Never again.
Never again, Neicy. Never again.
You see, this is why I do subscribe to substances.
Yeah.
You understand?
Like when it gets really overwhelming, I would indulge, but I'm also mindful of like, I know the feeling that you get from it, and it could be addictive, and I don't want to have to rely on stuff for me.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I hear that. What's another one?
I would say lost of time with your loved ones, with
Lost
your friends, and lost time with your friends and your family. And of course, like you see how you said you personally suffer from the fatigue.
Yeah.
I personally suffer from this one because there have been moments where my friends would be gathering or my family, and there were times where I regretted it. So I would say that when you miss out this time with your family and your friends, you can miss milestones, and you're working so hard for what? In the end, what really matters is your relationships, your friends, your family. So it's like you have the knowledge and you know it, but you have to be able to try now to apply it, because the time is so hard for everybody. But I mean, time hard for everybody. If you think about it, you really just have to prioritize and make time for your loved ones, because everybody could say they're busy, you know.
True.
So you have to make the time.
2 things I learned with that, and this is from personal experience. I had like a really close group of girlfriends. We were doing like A levels together, and we just kept our friendship from A levels till now. So from weddings to baby showers, to, we would use those things as our time to just meet up. And it had a few instances. I think it was like baby shower, or even as like normal girl brunch.
Yeah.
And I see in pictures, I didn't get no invitation. I want to know what's going on there.
I had some of
And
those
their
too.
response was like, but we know you're always busy, because they'll say you're coming, and then they wouldn't. So they just stop asking. And I felt real bad. Like that hurt.
Yep.
Because
that's my life.
I know that has been the pattern with certain things, but I still want to be asked.
Yeah.
And then it made me also realize I need to prioritize
I could relate
them,
to
because
that.
as much as they understand, I don't want the people in my life feel like I'm taking them for granted.
Yes.
And it's still one of me, so it had times that, okay, I'll be like, y'all tell me, and I would try to put things in place. I mightn't be able to stay the whole thing and dip in and dip out or something, but I started to push harder, because I realized like, these is people that I value. Even like with my own family, like I would talk to my mom and them on the phone. I'm not gonna cry, guys.
you know that word mom is a trigger word.
No, but I would talk to them on the phone all the time. And I realized we talk on the phone. I know what's going on, but I can't remember something else around y'all, or eat mommy cooking or things like that. So I started to make time, or try to make time to physically be there, because the physical presence is needed. It really, really needed,
I hear that. I also feel like when, I have, you all know my friend Terry. I've spoken about her already on the show. And she is a socialite.
Right.
She likes to be out, about,
Extroverted.
I am not that type of, like a good time girl. I'm not that type of chick. I've never been. Even back in my teenage days, right? And I go out. That's the thing to do. And we go to 51 or whatever. I would end up going down to the car and falling asleep. And my friends would party. And then I would wake up to a knocking on the window. It's 4 o'clock and everybody ready to go home.
You
because
basically watching the car.
Yeah, I could manage about an hour in the place.
Yeah.
And then I'll start to feel drained. And I'll be like, what's the point to this? I'd never got it.
Yeah.
So I like to be out, but in small little,
increments. I think you're introverted.
I'm very introverted. And so I would go and sleep in the car until it was ready, because I didn't want to spoil nobody's vibe now. And I realized I saw from a long time. So even now, back to Terry, she wants to go hookah lounge, and I love to go to different restaurants because I like to eat. So you could get me to come out for that. But hookah lounge and then lime in here and bar hopping and this and that, nah. Give me a nice little book. You know,
Yeah.
I home, I relaxing.
I love a lime, but just like you,
A house lime is nice.
I love a
A
house
game's
lime.
nice.
I love
Yes.
to
Yeah.
talk. But the thing is, I don't know if it's something with me, but not all the time people will approach me for conversation. They might just more be for stupid talk and things. So when I
Right.
get somebody to hold me in a conversation, like
Yeah, they.
a meaningful conversation or anything, like if it's success, some kind of advice, some kind of thing, like I like those
Yes.
conversations. And I feel like I leave the event or whatever line, and just feeling a little more empowered and inspired.
Yes.
So situations like that are real cool with. I love a line, but
I
you
could
see,
relate
when
to
it's
that.
too much, I start to feel drained, just like Chris.
What
That's a
started
creative people here.
to what started to bother me is like I had to really be intentional and set boundaries and not be the person to say yes to everything, because people are inviting you to stuff all the time. Being in
Well, as you
entertainment,
say that-
come to this event, come to this event, come to this. Neicy, I having this, and it's like I don't really want to come to everything.
That's your job,
That's a
though.
point that
I don't really-
That's your job,
And
though.
then people just feel a kind of way like if
Yeah.
your ends go. And
Yeah.
I just honestly, you know,
You go if you have to go, if it is work. But if it's just for leisure and you don't feel like going, follow your mind. My father's always say that, follow your mind. If you don't want to go, stay home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a homebody. I will choose my bed 99% of the time. And if I leave, it's because it is for a purpose. I getting paid. You know, it's work. It's networking. It's something. But I'm just not a party person. You know, a socializer. You know what I mean?
And this pandemic it reintroduced me to that side of me. Like I put me home with food, snacks, and a good Netflix series. Listen, I ain't getting on to me, you know.
Yeah.
So we covered fatigue, we covered fatigue, we covered loss of time with loved ones. What's another setback if you
Diet.
don't
Dieting.
health?
Yeah.
How so?
health.
Tell me.
Because when you're busy, sometimes, well, for me, and I'm sure y'all could relate to this, and this is a big one for me because I love food. But sometimes you're working, you miss breakfast, miss lunch, evening, you getting gasping, and you're like, how? You forget you
You're
ain't even
jeopardizing
eat.
your health.
Yeah.
You ain't even
Yeah.
eat.
I
So
get
true.
it.
Because you just
Guilty.
going. And the thing is, your body, think of your body like a car. Like if you ain't putting gas and you ain't putting oil and all these different things, your
Well
body
said.
cannot run the way you need it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food is that for your body.
Yeah.
You know?
Guys, you know, I just had to stop the show when Jay Revolution is in the house. Right? So Jay, let them some steps now. Jay, you did such a fabulous show last week. We were so happy that you came. We're happy to have you here. But let me go over to the chat room and come down to Jay.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry to cut you there, but you know, we had to talk
You do your thing.
So we people, right? So we had Julian here for the first time, right?
Big up.
You? Seven saying Carrie Ann is the realist. Adina says, I love all your show. I'm watching to learn for my friend's online radio show Off Grid, where I'll be the host. Yeah! Adina, Papa, so you're taking notes,
Yeah,
She's stealing notes. She's stealing me notes. That's all right. That's all right. KTC says, oof, I hear you, Chris. The burnout is real. She's doing JCAM's fitness challenge as well. She said, plus creativity for me at least comes when it comes, and in our profession, it's good. I get it now. Plus creativity for me at least comes when it comes,
Right.
and in our profession, it's difficult to not jump on it when it hits and put it off for later.
Yeah.
Yes, KTC, we agree. Then McCasey Glodden says he's laughing out loud at Neicy. Adina says, I had an experience with that. And yes, I felt like I was dying. But when I knocked out and woke back up, I was good.
Yeah.
Told myself, not me again, because it was an out of body experience. That's with the edibles.
With the cookies.
Ron is agreeing 100%. Right? Hold on. I think Shawna just kicked my camera. There you go, Shawna, what's going on? Shawna tall, you know, she leg long. She kicking my
She
camera.
could take Chris off screen there.
There we have Carrie Ann saying, no, Neicy, you hook. So you hook on edibles, apparently.
Oh,
Right?
maybe.
Cyan is saying, good afternoon, ladies. Sorry for being late. You all look so beautiful today. Well, thank you, Cyan. Good afternoon. Better late than never, right?
Yes.
Rick Boss says, good afternoon, TNT Queens. I'm watching in studio with Profess and City Noirs. Big up all you. Hey. We love when we get new people.
Yes.
And now we have J Revolution. Always had to give him big fanfare. He says, I genuinely believe that we creatives need to understand that it is less about work-life balance rather than a work reward measure. Yeah. Good points. Oh my gosh.
Taking notes.
He goes on to say, if creators earned a fair amount, they won't have to do 2, 3, 4 jobs back to back in order to barely get by.
Yeah.
Gosh, boy, J Revolution's dropping some gems right about now. That's an excellent point. Because as creators, we do have, like Neicy here, whose hands, like I mentioned earlier, is in a million different pots. She's doing so many different projects simultaneously. And that's what we have to do as creators, for the passion, for the love of it, and we make it work for us. So great point, Jay. Carrie Ann went on to say, yep, me too. I will sleep in the car until. Talking about
I gonna be in the car for that food in the car. Are they?
So what do you think? We should move on and give them some tips?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Give them some tips.
All right. We want to, for those of you who might be struggling like us with their time and their work-life balance and all of this, we have a couple tips that we'd like to recommend for you all.
Yeah.
Right? That you could do to help the situation. We don't know if they go follow it because I'm struggling to follow it myself, but we still sharing it, right?
Yeah.
Some awareness for all you. So who wants to go first?
Well, I mean, this is a given. Manage your time.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of us overschedule.
God.
And we can't do that because we have to be practical in our decision making. Right?
Time optimist like Neicy.
You see that time
The
optimist
struggle is real.
So I mean, we really need to set pragmatic goals because you can't just have a million things to do and you're not getting it done and then you're feeling overwhelmed and you're stressed. So I think that's a given, managing your time, and of course you could do so by writing it down actively. Write down some realistic, I'm not sure if you all ever heard about the term SMART before. What is it again? A specific, measurable,
attainable,
realistic, and timely.
Timely or
well,
tangible.
I learned something today.
I think it was timely.
Timely, smart goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can set SMART goals and write it down. Put a few tasks that you want to complete each day, and see it through.
Nice. I have one.
Let me hear that one.
Learn to say no. Learn to say
Why get
no.
excited with this point?
Yes, because it's hard to say no.
Yeah.
I find myself struggling to tell people no sometimes, even when I flat out don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But you could really overexert yourself when you're telling everybody yes. Imagine.
I would have think that came naturally for you because you're very outspoken.
Yeah.
I'm outspoken, but
So no.
nah. I have a soft, mushy heart with a hard exterior, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But if I am, as long as something is possible, it might not be easy, but if it's possible, you would find me saying, all right, I'll do my best. Like, for example, I had a client, a very challenging client that I do work for. And this time around, she asked me to do a show, an event for her, which I did. But she had so many different requests, boy. Oh gosh, real requests. And some of them outrageous. Even when it came down to my payment, she wanted to reward me and not
food?
not money, not payment. Of course, I shut it down, but not payment. She wanted to give me a listing.
Okay.
And if you're in real estate, if you know what a listing is,
that's kind of valuable.
No,
it's not.
No, darling.
Sorry.
You want me?
I'm being schooled.
So I will explain what a listing is. It is when someone asks you to sell their house for them, right?
But you still have to do the work.
Let me talk. The payment is. I will give you a listing to sell my house. And I'm like, darling, you are rewarding me or you are paying me with more work. That's not payment for my services rendered. So I shut it down. And then obviously we came to, an agreement in terms of what the payment would be. But just stuff like that. And then getting there, she wanted me to perform in a certain place that I deemed could be potentially dangerous because I had to go up on a platform and stuff, and I didn't want to, and at the last minute, you know what, give the people what they need, because she probably told all her friends that the performer will be up on this platform, and they got all excited when at the last minute I decided to go up because I was like, I hate disappointing people. I don't want to do it, but let me give them a show because that's what she paid for. So eventually I got up on the platform. It was not as shaky as it was in prior times when I performed for her. So I did it and they loved it. And I said, you know what, at the end of the day, I need to learn how to say no, but it still feels good when you're still able to accommodate people and you see the joy that you bring them, even though it was taking a lot out of you. So that's something I struggle with personally.
But then you all have like a conversation to iron things out, so she know in case of the future, this is a no.
When I have issues, I tend to deal with it internally and say nothing unless absolutely necessary.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So no, I did not address it with her after. But I'm thinking she knows based on how the conversation went in the moment, how I felt about it. But I think she did appreciate even more that I still did what I did. Yes. Yeah. So that's an example. Learn how to say no. Otherwise people will take advantage.
I still stuck on the giving your work as a rule, but
right? That's for another time.
Yeah, we gonna
I hope she ain't watching this show.
No. For me, I think I mentioned this before, but one of my tips is learning to detach. Really getting a bit strict with it because I could go and go and go and go and go and go. Yeah. Because you think like if you get it enough finished today, it lessens up tomorrow. So my mindset would just be like do, but it has to have some kind of balance where you know, okay, you're supposed to have lunch and you actually take the time to eat. Yeah. You know, or you probably set out your schedule for the day. This used to be a big thing with me. Like I would wake up, do what I need to do and say, okay, this is what I'm going to get done today. And say a message or call and it could just throw off my whole day where it's like somebody called with something and you just inputting stuff into your day and all the things that you said you're going to get done now becomes this overwhelming list with other people's stuff. Right. So being able to like, you know what your quota is and how much of yourself you could give daily and not be lazy with it. Like really push yourself to know what needs to be done. Not just be like, okay, well I did this one task and you ready to pop your foot and you know, cut off for the day. Like really be realistic with your goals. Know your capacity to work, but also be willing to say, okay, I am drained. This has to put down and I would come back to this tomorrow. And I used to see like people would say like, you know, like if you're working for a job and say for instance something happened to you and you leave like work though dead, like you know something, work though dead. So just be mindful of that, like you pushing yourself into the ground. Yes, you want to do the best, yes you want to accomplish certain things, but really have that space where you could say I'm ready to put this down. And
yes,
I like that one.
I like it too.
As weird as this one sounds, you want to add anything to detach?
No.
Or you're good?
I think Neicy covered it.
As weird as this one sounds, this was also one that we found in research, volunteer. So
why is that weird?
Yeah, I find it a little bit strange because
it's work.
Plenty people is volunteer, you know.
Yeah, I know, but volunteer when it comes to work-life balance is not something you think of off the bat. It's a nice word, it's a nice activity that we know of, but how does it fit into work-life balance? So let me explain. A lot of people like Neicy, very sociable. She's always out there. She's making connections. Same thing with Chris. Her job demands that, you know, she's on the forefront with different people at various locations at different times. But there are a lot of people who are very isolated and they go from work, home, and they are not getting that social experience or the opportunity to meet anybody. So in the research, they explain that as weird as it seems, volunteering is a good one that helps with work-life balance because it gives you the opportunity to meet new groups of people, right? So you get to make new connections. And usually when you volunteer services, you tend to feel a little uplifted. You know, when you do something and you could benefit somebody, you feel good. So in addition to feeling good, you can also meet new people and create a circle that you may not have had.
Yes, this is true. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. When I saw it, I was like,
I don't think I need to volunteer. I think I need to volunteer less.
All right, guys. Here's what. I'm going to give one more. And then let's take a little break because we're looking at the time. Guys, we're trying to do. All right, give it and I'll give mine and then we'll go to break.
The one that I saw which was interesting to me with support. Let me make sure I'm getting the right word in. Yes, developer support system.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the one you was going to talk about.
No. You go ahead.
That for me is something I'm now developing because I used to pride myself with this one woman team thing, and I don't need help from nobody, and or even not help, but I said support
Pride.
somebody checking in or somebody asking, okay, anything I could do to assist you with, because I just feel like, okay, let me just get it done, let me do bother to ask nobody. Or even sometimes it's not about getting the help, it's just like letting people know where you're at mentally or how you're dealing with certain things. Because say for instance, like you battling with something or you're struggling with something, and then and share that with anybody, and then they have an expectation that you're supposed to hit a deadline, or you're supposed to do something, and they coming at you like that kind, and they don't even know what you're dealing with. So I feel like sometimes not everything is to tell people their business, but just being a little more open with where you're at with something, so people could be a little more accommodating and support what's going on with you, because they have an idea and they realize like when you be a certain way is not intentional, or for them to take it personal. It's really like, this had nothing to do with me,
I struggle with that too. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just about to say it's also priceless to when you find someone or a couple people who can meet you on that frequency, who can understand and appreciate where you're coming from. And you know what I mean? Because you get, most people, they think in terms of me. You hardly get people who could really be self-aware and put themselves in your shoes as well, and that kind of thing. So when you find someone who can say, well, and understand that Neicy is busy, Neicy has so much going on, she might need a little help, without wanting something in return from Neicy. Those people are priceless. So I guess when you find someone like that, hold on to them tight.
And I was about to say too, I and all had issues with having a support system, just as you, like a one-man army, in the sense that why does I feel embarrassed, like why I don't want to ask anybody for help when it came to anything. And if you think about it, nobody gets anywhere in life without somebody else. So without people, somebody has to open the door for you. Don't matter who you are today, somebody opened the door for you. Why not ask? The most they could say is no. So I had to face myself with this, like, why does I don't want support? What is wrong with you, Shawna? And then I recognize, girl, false pride is what you got.
Why is it to be false?
Girl, it's pride. It is pride, and
pride.
You can't
for
make
you, it's pride.
You can't make it
for you, it's pride, because some people something else.
No, well, I mean, that is what it really boils down to, because. Yes, okay. So me personally, I don't like to feel like I put in people out of their way. I always feel like I'm asking too much of people.
Yes,
right?
I get that.
So it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, no, I can't ask the person that I'm overstepping a boundary.
Yes.
But then if you really break it down, everything is a boundary that you don't want to overstep, and you're not going to ask nobody for nothing. It is pride. It will still come back down to you have too much pride to ask somebody for assistance.
May I?
Yes.
May I respond?
Yes.
I will touch on that a little bit. I agree with Shawna, where I don't like to ask people to do nothing. Let me put it so, to do nothing for me. Because one, I don't like to inconvenience people. And two, I am a staunch believer, if you want something done a certain way, do it your damn self. You understand? However, I do agree with what you said. You need people. You can't do nothing. You can't do anything without the help of at least somebody else. And for me, that person is my father. That's the only person I would ask for anything. And even still, asking my dad for anything at this point in time feels like, oh gosh, you really shouldn't be bothering your father with this. But again, in light of what happened, the whole world suffered a pandemic, people's livelihoods were compromised and stuff. I am in that group of people. My dad stepped up and helped me, most ardently, However, he has trained me or raised me in a way to just get it done. He said, don't ask nobody for anything. Also, you don't ask no man for anything that, how parents could be and that kind of thing. And that just stayed with me. So, they
still reach out to help us, our dads, because my dad is quite similar.
Exactly.
Regardless if they train us a certain way, they're still helpful.
So would you say yours is pride as well, or just independence?
Say that again?
Would you say yours is pride
I think
or
it's more independence than pride. A little bit of pride, yes, Shawna and Neicy, but more independence and just wanting to just do it myself. Because I just the thought of having to ask somebody for help in any vision that I might have or whatever literally makes me want to hurl. Like I need to get up and do it myself.
Which is a form of pride. So I would say I would attribute this towards my mom, right? Because she was the one who taught me if you don't have it,
Do it out, yeah.
right? You don't need it. You don't need. And she will. I've seen my mom suffer in silence, and she's like, "That's fine. I will go through my suffering, and I will get through."
Strong woman.
And yes, we can say that's independence, and yes, we can put all the nice words on it, but as it is also a form of pride, because you could avoid your struggle and you could find it within yourself to ask somebody for some form of assistance, but because you see yourself in this independent light, you don't want to see yourself any other way. You understand?
I agree.
I think
it's okay to ask for help.
Pride in there. Yeah.
I agree.
For me, I think it was not being able to like really rely on people. Like the disappointment attached to that is like I don't even want to get my hopes up with thinking I could put this in your hand and just turn my back, so let me just get it done.
And then the reproach of it all.
That is what was coming to, because even if sometimes somebody do something for you, and then later on in another conversation it comes up like, you see that was my thing. Like I don't ever want to give people any opportunity to say I do this for you, so I would just do it myself.
And that is a thing here in our country.
Oh
That is a thing.
Even if they're telling you, they're telling everybody else. Even you don't know what I do for them.
Even if, let me use an example. Even if you write a song and they put the word "it" in the song, IT, one word, they want 10%, and they tell it everybody. They co-write the song and it's their song, and that's just an example.
Culture,
but that's our culture. So I have bad mind. Some people might interpret that in many different ways, but bad mind for me means determination.
Yes.
I have serious bad mind. So when I put my mind to something, it going and happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
If I am passionate about it and I have the right energy and the intensity behind it, it is going to happen if I have to do it all myself. And that's just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to just touch very lightly on one more, and then we're going to go to break, all right?
Yes.
And I think this is suitable. Limit time-wasting activities and people. And I want to emphasize, all right, time-wasting activities like them edibles, Neicy. You can do without that. But I want to touch more on
meditation.
time. Yes.
You just lose days in
a whole day I lose after taking a quarter of that cookie.
Yeah, you lose
3 o'clock I wake up the next day.
Next time take 1/8, Chris.
Miss Lady, not cook that. It's still in my fridge, and I open it and watching it.
The day before my unplugged day, so I could unplug.
Boy.
But
and the other thing, it just takes so long to work. So if you go and eat that, you had to, like, let's say you want to feel the effects at 7 p.m. You had to take that at 4 p.m. just so that you could feel it 3 hours later.
Ridiculous.
You know? But not me again. I learned my lesson. I don't need to get burned 2 and 3 times.
Me too.
Anyway, so I want to touch on time wasting people too. Limit time wasting people. You see people who just draw from your energy that after you've been, or after you've had an encounter with them, you feel drained. You feel like you run 2 marathon, 2 5K marathon. And avoid people like that, because people like that, they not just drain your energy, but your productivity. Because if you don't have no energy, how are you going to work? How are you going to accomplish your goals? You know what I'm saying? And I have learned that more like recently. I think too, also again in the last 2 years. Yeah. Real thing learning these last 2 years, you know.
That pandemic was
boy.
the teacher.
A teacher indeed. So you learn to prioritize the people who you have around you. Are these people like-minded? Are these people goal-oriented? You know, and can they meet you at that level? Can the kind of conversations you can have with them, you know, and they don't detract from your dreams. You have people who, the minute you tell them a vision or an intention, they're looking to poke holes in it and tell you all that could go wrong. No, partner. I could poke holes in them, in those things myself. I could look at what the pitfalls could be and move to suit. I don't need you to tell me that. So, you know, try to stay away from people like that. Avoid them. You know how much calls I just ignore now? How much texts I don't reply to? Right? All the, oh God, girl, you're scared. And all right, no response.
Yeah.
None.
My thing is,
because
if you
I've
call
learned.
and they miss the call, if it's important enough, you call back or you
Yes.
leave a message. Like,
That's right.
If you just call once and leave it. Let me not even say that. Next thing I started ringing on my phone.
They just want to have the hey
Oh my God,
conversation.
setting up yourself, girl.
Yeah.
So strike that one. Just
Nah, don't strike it. It's a pertinent point. They just want to have the hey conversation. No hey. Have a purpose. Like I tell my friends, call me when you want something or you need something. If you
I have a
don't,
friend like that.
then don't
If
call
it-
me.
if it-
Because
if
you're
it need
introverted.
there, it
Yeah,
call.
I don't need to have the hey conversation.
It's also make you respect people's time as well, because
Yeah.
when people don't respect yours, you don't want to be that person in somebody else's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I'll be like, is this what I call, or could I just shoot them a message? You
Yeah.
know?
Some people might be like, oh, you only calling when you want something. No,
Yeah.
call me when you want something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
call,
the
if you
introvert
need me
in
to
you.
do something, I could help you, or you need some money, or you need help to.
Chris, I need
don't
some.
know. All right, Neicy, you're there. You know, but because it's the reason you're calling me for.
Yeah, yeah.
But the worst thing you could do me is call me without a purpose. Boy, like do not call if you have nothing to say. If you
Yeah.
need some, you want to talk or ask my opinion or something, or vice versa. I need to get your opinion.
Yeah.
I'll do that, but.
Yeah.
The idle chit chat just drain my boy. I can't handle it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have close friends that you haven't heard from in a
That's
long
different,
time
yeah.
and you're calling to check up, I think checking up is a purpose. But because you're introverted, like I said, my mom is quite similar. Because you're introverted, your phone constantly ringing or people calling you, it becomes draining. But for other people, that is very fulfilling to hear from a friend, to check up. So, it's just different personalities. We keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
ready
so
for a break, guys?
we ready for a break. Should
Yeah.
I go through the
Comments.
chat?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna continue with Lendell Valdez. He says, "Hello, wonderful girls. Just want to tell Krystal Khayne I sent a message for you on Facebook Messenger.
Shine up.
Please check it out, okay? You're a hard person to get on to, but the show is good as usual. You see?" You see why I don't proof these comments?
Hey, as I see
He
that
put me on
Krystal,
blast, boy.
Somebody
would
message
approve.
him a DMs with your picture. I'll be like, if I get this one,
Oh
I'll
my
change my
gosh,
ways.
I can't take that. All right, Lendell, I'll check my messages and respond to you, all right, darling? My bad. We're going on to J Revolution. He says, sadly, I was one who was sold on time management and tasks lists. However, it is only until I started to take projects that are worthwhile that I understood. Yes, Jay, we get it, we get it. And then he goes on to say, we have been made to believe that we always need to be available in this industry. And that stems from fear of missing opportunities. It's
Yeah.
true.
FOMO.
Yeah, but we need to quality over quantity.
Yep.
You understand? Quality over quantity. So yeah, we get that, Jay. We agree totally. Rick Boss goes on to say, yes, Shawna. First step is to make a list and prioritize and eliminate bad energy and unproductive vibes. Indeed. Katie C goes on to say, tool. Check out the Eisenhower Matrix. It's a task management tool, the Eisenhower Matrix. It's a
What's the
task.
spelling? Give me the spelling now.
EISEN.
I've heard of it. Something with like the
SEN
window. Is that your Harry window?
HOWER.
Yeah, so some-
HOWER.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Right.
thought
So she says, check out the Eisenhower Matrix. It's a task management tool. Definitely helps me to understand how you write this, Katie. Definitely helped my understanding of how to take on, organize, and prioritize meaningful work and tasks.
Okay.
All
so
right.
It's a app or it's a like a knowledge.
She says it's a
knowledge.
task management
yeah,
tool, the
something
Eisenhower
like with
Matrix.
psychology.
Yeah, make a note of that. Let's check it out.
So you can find it in Google.
Yes. J Revolution says, let me know if all you're taking calls, I have some tips. Jay,
We
just
always
call,
taking
just
calls.
call.
You
You all know
call.
how to reach us, 4664 O.U.R. That's 466-4687. You all could call us anytime. WhatsApp too. Anna is the phone on, right?
Call us anytime.
Then Science says, time management for me is very easy. I plan my day out knowing what I have to do and accomplish between a certain time span. I do that too, but sometimes I have to follow up.
discipline.
That is real
That just
discipline
sounds
there.
like discipline.
Ron says, they can also help hold you accountable. Right? Cyan then says, one tip, have stress relievers, spending, listening music, watching a movie, taking a walk, spending time with your partner or friend. So I guess that's examples of what stress relievers
like the
are.
balance, the
Yes.
balance in it, yeah.
Carrie Ann says, indeed, Shawna, good point, but you need people. Right?
Exactly.
Jay says, so what is independence if you need people? Oh
need
gosh,
people,
Jay, people need people. It's just a
course.
fact. It's a bona fide
We were
fact.
designed to connect with
Exactly.
others.
That's right. KTC says work smarter, not harder.
Yep.
Carrie Ann says it have people and people, the real ones. So it have people and people. The real ones will always do what needs to be done, and it stays between you and them. Great point, Carrie Ann. Science says I was always taught to be independent, and asking for help is a no-no. Never in any situation. Sometimes I had low times and people wanted to assist, and I could not accept it. It was too hard for me. Yes. I could totally
People,
relate to
yeah.
that. I could totally. If I didn't have my dad, I don't know what I would have done, because I am the one to suffer in silence.
Yep.
I know. Carrie Ann says, we will all reach a point in life where we would need someone, no matter who they are. Right? Your people will be your people if you accept them or not. They are your people regardless. I get that. Lendell says, yes, only be around motivated, uplifting people who can help you bring positivity and lift your ego, etc. Agreed. Adina, I'll go fast now, Olia. Adina says, I feel like I can relate to Krystal. I'm very introverted, but yet I can socialize. Yes, Adina. Yeah, I'm an extroverted introvert. Like performing on a stage and stuff, that's my passion. I could do that. But the minute I come off that stage, I need to go.
Well, that's
like it's hard for me
She
to.
was Sasha Face, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's hard for me to connect with people. If we already connect, well, you're not gonna get me to shut up. If I know you, you all know that.
Yeah.
But it's just difficult for me to socialize with people if I'm not on a stage doing what I love, you know? Anyway, moving on. KTC says you're the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with.
Yes, my mother said that to me all the
Yeah.
time.
We have 3 more. Nails by Maya. Big up Nails by Maya. That's new. That's your friend?
Yeah.
Yes. Big up you, darling. She says hashtag no bad vibes. Right? Jay goes on to say, I'll call after the break.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And that's the last one. Jay, we're looking forward to your call.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break. That's it for the topic of the day, right? Balancing work and life, right? Work-life balance. We hope you guys learned a little something. You know, we like to bring it with the topics, right? But right about now, we're going to take a little music break, see where Nailah at, right? And we'll be right back with more Island Girl Talk right here on O.U.R. Radio.
All of these signs revealing. Don't let me waste the time. Come along for the ride. And before you know, it's up in the air. You back it up right there. Show me your love and bring that waste to mine. No, you're pretty like shine up in my face when you laugh at me. Your body tight, you it off for me. Fall in our best line and give thanks for life. Yeah, and we go down like licky-ticky, 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 licky-ticky. We have a style like licky-ticky, 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 the way she go like licky-ticky, 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 licky-ticky. Come and we jam like licky-ticky, licky-ticky, licky-ticky. That's the vibe, yeah. That's the vibe, come get it, yo. Hit me with the one drop and let it go. Anywhere the girl, them a dead there, yo. We're in your area, oh, I. So baby, come, that we live it up. Tell me when you wanna build it up. Let's get hotter, send it up. You know we like that, yeah. We got jam like licky-ticky, 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 licky-ticky. We have a style like licky-ticky, 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 the way she go like licky-ticky, 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 licky-ticky. Come let me jam like licky-ticky, licky-ticky, licky-ticky. That's the vibe, yeah. Chérie m'baka chez Dieu, oti doudou m'baka chez Dieu. Me konta pou m'pel, oh, me konta pou m'pel. Chérie m'baka chez Dieu, oh oui baby m'baka chez Dieu. Me konta pou m'pel, yeah, me konta pou m'pel. Bend it up and shake it, your big fat bumper flick it. Baby, come get it, baby, come ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky. We have a style like licky, ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky, The way she go like licky, ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky. Come let me jam like licky, ticky, licky, ticky, licky, ticky. That's the vibe, yeah.
Trini again, na 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 na. It's been a while since I found something to pass my time, to make me feel like maybe I'm an addict, yeah. You can't blame me, I'm already broken. How do I fix me? Don't know why I'm searching, afraid to be needy. That is why I'm yearning for that fix. We all got something that we do. Drink or smoke it too. I will not be the judge of you. That's not how we do. We all got something that we do. Drink or smoke it too. I will not be the judge of you. It's not for me to do. We all got something that we do. Drink or smoke it too. I will not be the judge of you. 'Cause I do it too, yeah. Yeah, 'cause I do it too, yeah. City and cities, I'm still the same person again. Tell me, will this pain ever end? I'm back in the cycle again. Ooh, jeez, that's the time. Do I even sleep at night? Do I eat or do I cry? Oh my, you can't blame me, I'm already broken. How do I fix me? Don't know why I'm searching, afraid to be needy. That is why I'm yearning for that fix. We all got something that we do. Drink or smoke it too. I will not be the judge of you. That's not how we do. We all got something that we do. Drink or smoke it too. I will not be the judge of you. It's not for me to do. We all got something that we do. Drink or smoke it too. I will not be the judge of you. 'Cause I do it too, yeah. Yeah, 'cause I do it too, yeah.
Yeah. Me not friend, me a family. Me real. What make them switch? The amount of stabbing on me back when me get from them, no stitch can't fix. Me just a get to you day up on a mission for everybody rich. Them want take all away history and dump it all in a ditch. Them a call themselves big man and a one like Mitch. What make them switch? What make them switch? The amount of stabbing on me back when me get from them, no stitch can't fix. Me just a get to you day up on a mission for everybody rich. Yeah. Them want take all away history and dump it all in a ditch. Them a call themselves big man and a one like Mitch. What make them switch? If you need money, me a lend. Give you my last breath if you need oxygen. You're more than my family, you're more than my friend. Me true brother till the end. That's why it hurt me, now me heart fear the thought in your head. Argument is a test. This feeling, I'ma feel worse than stress. Me say some things, I mean that and a reason for your left. Don't get it off your chest. Me tell you, so me love you, but you go on like you're deaf. Just why everybody happy, all of my friends them get blessed. I feel appreciate when I need that coming, I know who time next. Nah, go line, me miss the good morning brother text. Remember we only human beings and humans get vexed. Stop feel like less. When me tell you if you do something, me just want you be the best. In everything you do, me and your big brother, yes. And I'm a bin in your shoe. So me nothing and nobody come between me and make them switch. The amount of stabbing on me back when me get from them, no stitch can fix. Me just a get to you day up on a mission for everybody rich. Them want take all away history and dump it all in a ditch. Them a call themselves big man and a one like Mitch. Want make them switch. Though we a try play hero, can't take everybody everywhere that we go. If you can't trust your day one and you want go trust zero. Pull a trigger on a nigga if him play mad for you. A remark and that tattoo at the same place we grow. Family can never war like Smokey and Debo. If you leave it left a scar, everybody know the team now. Just turn in a star, check the views left and we video. If you love me like you say you love me, then start make it please show. Good friend come once in a life, not everybody have it. See no friend, more friend and friendship ain't tragic. Good friend come once in a life, and not everybody have it. So this petty war thing, we must stop it. Yeah, me always I talk to you, so this time me have to sing. Stop vex with your brother, just feel some little thing. Everywhere we go together like finger and ring. I the only man me trust, fit pour my drink. No money, no girl could have bust this tight link. Cause we have to stick together, it's just what I think. Cause we could lose each other in just one eye blink. No one's in a eye pink. Just want everybody happy, all of my friends them get blessed. I feel appreciate when another coming and know who time next. Now go line me miss the good morning brother text. Remember we only human beings and humans get vexed. Stop feel like less. When me tell you if you do something, me just want you be the best. In everything you do, me and your big brother, yes. And I'm a bin in your shoe. So make nothing and nobody come between me and them switch. The amount of stabbing on me back when me get from them, no stitch can fix. Me just a get to you day up on a mission for everybody rich. Them want take all away history and dump it all in a ditch. Them a call themselves big man and a one like Mitch. Want make them switch, want make them switch. The amount of stabbing on me back when me get from them, no stitch can fix. Me just a get to you day up on a mission for everybody rich. Yeah. Them want take all away history and dump it all in a ditch. I call themselves big man and a one like Mitch. Want make them switch, want make them switch.
Hey guys. So, if you're now joining us, how much am I to say this? Like, where have you been? Where have you been? We had a whole topic of the day where we discussed so much crucial points when it comes to balancing your work and professional life. And now we're about to dive into
Let's Talk Trends.
But before we go there, just want to let you guys know, share the live, like the live, and feel free to call us anytime during the show.
Exactly.
At 466-4687 or 4664-O.U.R.
Yes, and of course on Saturday, June the 4th, we had 2 silhouettes launch for O.U.R. Radio's 1 year anniversary. It's a year already, guys, right?
Boy.
And of course, the best part is
It's free.
it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Freeness.
But
You gotta send your name.
Yeah,
send your name. So
Yes.
simply send your full names to our WhatsApp number. Neicy just mentioned it, 4664-O.U.R. That's 466-4687. Or email party@OURradio.fm to get listed.
Well done.
And we out and back.
so we have a special guest who's gonna be in the building. But before we dive to that, we had to talk about the trending topics.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And for some of us who still in Trinidad and looking at the pics in Mexico, right? Some of us who had a work and thing now. We are about to talk about the melee. Melee.
Yes.
Listen, Marshall has done it again.
As usual.
Has definitely done it again. So for persons who may not be familiar, you know, before the pandemic hit, Marshall shocked everybody in Socaland and said this was going to be the last Marshall Monday. So people was like, what we going on do? What we going on do? What going on happen?
Yeah.
And then he announced that he was going to go into a new venture called Millie Cruise. You know, something I don't want to say it's similar, but you know, like those cruise,
Yeah, the Caribbean vibes.
with
So
the-
you're saying Millie really started, it was intended to be
a cruise,
like a soca cruise
like
kind
a
of
soca
something.
cruise, and then pandemic struck, and everything that was planned just took a backseat, and then, you know, places opening back up again, and they decided to carry it into this new venture called Melly Destinations. So, you know, Marshall is a very secretive person. He lets the public know what they need to know when they need to know it.
Yes.
So you all have to stay tuned. But the first of Melly Destination took place recently in Cancun, Mexico, and anybody was there, but the girls of Island Talk wasn't, because we had to stay here for y'all.
Yes.
And I was in a wedding.
And Shawna was in a
We
wedding,
had to
for
stay here
real.
for y'all. But it was. At first I thought it was like a one-day thing. I was like, people literally fly into Mexico for one little event. I don't.
Yeah.
But it was a whole experience.
thing.
Like different days, different teams. They had a carnival there. I saw a pool party. I saw different nights of different performances.
Big sponsors.
Everybody who is somebody in soca was there.
Yeah, it looked nice. It looked
Yes.
nice. Yeah.
Yes.
And now I like, well, where we going next, Marshall? where we going next? So definitely stay tuned, because it's gonna have a lot more. See, now the success of this was so huge. A lot, and I think it's opening a new door for soca entertainment. You know, because now he's taking it to the world. Before, people would come to Trinidad to experience Trinidad Carnival, and then they would go to different islands to do different carnival events. But now Marshall is bringing it to your doorstep. So where to next?
Yeah.
Where to next? Melly Destinations is a thing.
Yes. It looked real nice to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I living under a rock. But
Yes.
I was like, what is all this? Someone from one of the sponsors of Melly actually told me, check this out. And they showed me, and that was when I found out. I was like, but this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I live in under a rock. I didn't know.
I was paying attention to it since he announced no more Marshall Monday, because I'm like, for you to take Marshall Monday off the table, you had to come good to replace it.
Yeah.
And it's not just you had to come good, because we understand like he's all about evolution. Throughout the years, he had set that tone for like, as soon as something becomes where you could predict it, he ready to shock you again. You know? So everybody was like interested with his Melly croon to see what that would have been about. But I think the pandemic worked in his favor, because this Melly destination that was birthed out of that is a bop, as Krystal is saying. It's a bop. It's a bop.
Who are some of the artists that performed in Melly?
I saw Patrice Roberts, Destra, Beanie Man, Farmer Nappy,
Voice was there.
Even Ding Dong was there.
Listen. It had a very, very big cast.
Yeah. I've always wanted to visit Cancun.
I had a girlfriend who was out there, and I touched her a message, and I said, make sure and wine for me. She said, done. And I say, so the next day, I message her, and I say, how it was? She said, was it still going on?
So how long is it?
I'm not sure how much days. It was like a long weekend kind of thing.
But a couple of my friends, I think they said they came in like last night or night before or something.
Yeah, I think it was a long weekend. So probably like 3 or 4 days.
Mexico is our bop too, eh? You all ever been?
No.
Oh, God.
I've always wanted to visit Cancun.
Many times. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw
all
pics
over
at
Mexico.
the airport with like, that's people.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it for Chenza. Yeah, take us out.
No, and I just want to add as well, Marshall Montano will be performing on the 1st of July at Essence Fest along. Well, not alongside. Let me not give wrong information. He's one of the featured performers alongside Nicki Minaj, Beanie Man. So head across the Essence Fest on social media and Essence, the magazine. Fest. You remember this have the big... Right. So yes, he will be featured at Essence Fest this year in person, and because I think over the pandemic they had a lot of virtual performances. Kes would have been 1 year, but virtually. This year, no, they back and they out, and Nicki Minaj will be performing there. Beanie Man is on the flyer. I said, so yeah, Marshall
big things are going.
He toying.
What do you think? We should go right in to get to one? I find so. Because we waiting, and just so you all know, because we know all you're waiting patiently for Nailah. We're drawing it out.
Because when she reaches, it's going to be all about Nailah.
Absolutely.
So we just had to do our due diligence and get our work out of it.
Yes. During the break, we spoke again with her manager. They are on their way. They should be here. They're probably outside already prepping.
Yes.
But in another 10 minutes or so. So all you relax. She coming. Don't worry.
Don't worry. So we put in our segment.
There's no fakery in the bakery. No fakery in the bakery. We just deliver.
Please come up with these things. Fakery in the bakery.
Fakery in the bakery.
Yeah,
I
man.
like that. I'm going to see fit.
So what are we doing for Get Through going
This
through?
is the
Get through or gone through
segment.
Yes.
And I always do it.
It's been a while since you did get through, gone through.
Yeah, we always press for time.
Yeah, boy.
We
Last
always
week,
press-
the talk was nice
Yeah,
with J
it was sweet, it
Revolution.
was sweet.
We didn't get a chance to do anything else but chat with Jay. Yeah? That's how it is go. Jay, we waiting for the call, honey. Where?
Jane call. But of course, you all know how it goes in the Get Through or Gone Through segment. We always drop some kind of scenario and discuss our feelings on whether it is get through or a gone through.
We getting
kind
a
of
call?
situation.
Are we getting a call?
Yes, we taking that call.
Hey,
We taking
take the
calls.
call. Take the call. Let me see who it is.
It's Nailah calling y'all.
Say, guys, I'm not coming over. I'm gonna have to cancel on you.
We call get drunk.
But they hang up. So we had a caller. You see how
call back.
But call back.
we get excited when we get a caller and this person just gone and hang up and we
Krystal
just
got really
so.
parody singing. Right, the caller said, nah, boy, I don't have that speed today.
Oh gosh. Well, darling, if you're still on and you're still locked, feel free to call us. All right, they're calling back. Well, let's go. You ready? Hello, caller. Hello, caller. How are you today? Welcome to Island Girl Talk. Are they on?
I am on.
Yeah.
Hey, raise the volume for me a little bit, Shawna. Hello, how are you today? State your name and where you're calling from.
I'm J Revolution and I'm calling from Double Palm.
Why you so, boy?
What are you doing there? Since you're there.
One palm, two palm.
I'm taking time out of my busy schedule.
Oh
okay,
my
okay.
gosh. Well, we appreciate that. Big up Jay in the house.
No,
Well,
but
you're
hear
not in
this
the
now.
house here in the double palm.
Yeah. Hear this now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch area like the topic, the work-life balance.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to touch on. I feel like, and this is my personal mission, right? So I feel like as creatives, I really would like us to just move away a little bit from the whole, we had to balance we work and we had to balance this and that, and try to understand that the reality is there's a bit of a problem that we have when it comes to creatives earning what they are worth, right? And I feel like that is a little bit more important than trying to do these task lists and organize X, Y, and Z and time there and there. Because, for example, if it is you are, paid well doing one particular task, it means then that with your earnings, you are able to, take a break from accepting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs and getting your mind all entangled, as McGill Jada would say, right here in the farm, all entangled in all these different things that you become overwhelmed every other week. And and then we will continually convince ourselves that no, it's not that, it's me, it's my time management, I am bad at this, that, and the other. But you're a human being. There is no way you could try to convince yourself that you go and balance 8, 9, 10 jobs and find time for your family and your friends and all these different things. So don't guilt trip yourself into believing that you should be working that hard and draining yourself every other week and thinking, oh, well, no, we just need to watch a little Netflix and then go fix it. That's really not true now.
Well said.
That's really not true. And I see people who are really, really good at what they do, not really earning enough to even take a little break, a little vacation, a little time away from these different things. And it hurts me when I see people who are good at their job barely surviving. And again, you all were talking about the pandemic. Many of my creators I know were hanging by a thread, for lack of a better term, because their creative passions did not allow them to gather a certain amount of savings to ride out the pandemic. And they've been doing their work for years. Time management is not going to fix that. You understand what I'm saying?
But how you suggest that we fix that? Because I don't feel like we have control over our salaries per se.
Right. Okay. So here's what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is that the conversation about work-life balance is not as nuanced as it's supposed to be, because we're going to tell people about, now, well, if you're not managing your time, you're probably not good at time management. But really and truly, that is for most of us not the case.
Understood.
So that's really what I say. No, I can't really hit the switch button in Trinidad and Tobago and make it so that a dancer, for example, would have to basically drop the price every other day because they get it cheaper elsewhere and da. Like I can't fix that on my own. You know what I'm saying? In truth and in fact, even in my part of the industry, which is film, etc. Prices are people are competing on price, not even skill anymore. People competing on price.
That is so true.
So I just saying that the idea that you are bad at time management is probably not true.
Yeah.
It could be that you are just taking on a bunch of projects that are
Unnecessary
not
projects.
worth your time just to get by now. And
Yeah.
I used to do that. You know how much times I convinced myself Jimmy Lee real lazy. Everybody's telling me Jimmy Lee work real hard, and I believe that I am lazy because I could never somehow find the time to finish everything I want to finish. But in reality, it's like, dog, if you're taking on 10 projects at $200, obviously you're gonna get burned out, dog, because versus one project at 20,000. You understand what I'm saying?
So essentially, what you're saying is quality over quantity. We mentioned that earlier because
absolutely,
you made a good point. I mean, as an artist too, doing the circuit here in Trinidad, they're really not just looking at whether or not Krystal could sing. You know, they're looking at they could get artists for $1,000 less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it boils down to here in Trinidad, because I do experience that anywhere else other than home here. Sorry to say all here, but we being real. When I travel for work, you give your price and it is paid. No questions asked, because people already respect your craft.
Yeah.
But here in Trinidad, you end up, David charging a certain amount, this one charging less, the other charging less. How come you so much?
Yeah.
I don't do what David and the other person does. We all different.
Yeah.
You understand? But yes, so great points made, Jay. Great points.
So all I'm saying is I like. So for instance, Katie mentioned the Eisenhower matrix, right? It's actually a great tool. It's a tool that where you basically kind of draw a square and you draw two dividing lines that make it into four smaller squares. And you have a section that says urgent and important. So urgent, not urgent, important, unimportant. And the things that are not urgent and not important, you do away. And the things that are urgent and important, you understand? You do it one time. So those are definitely good tools. Like time management tools are good tools, no doubt. But if it is, we're not addressing the bigger problem, which is the fact that creatives have to take on so many different projects in order to just get by, then we're not addressing the real problem. And creatives will keep telling themselves that they're lazy and they're unproductive and they're not working hard enough and all these different things. And it's not true. And there's the guilt tripping and the deterioration of mental health and all these different things. And creatives are drowning themselves in work because they believe that this is what they have to do to make it. And you're always available and you always say yes and all these different things. And it's a culture that we have. And
totally understandable.
Stepping back from the entertainment industry, I started to notice that where it's like, bro, like I was really drilling myself into the ground for what now? And it's tough. Don't get me wrong, I didn't call to give an answer. It's tough because sometimes you just have to accept the BS. You understand?
Thank you.
I just
Go ahead, Jay. What you said?
But that was it. I know they have to move on to the next
thank
segment.
you so much for calling, and we agree with you 100%. What is going to say there?
But Jay, we sorry, we don't mean to cut you off there. You're making real sense. Real sense, and we agree. But you know what's going on today, right? I will let Shawna take it away.
No, it's fine. We go link all it later.
Yes, please.
Right. So all you hear this, right?
Big up J Revolution, all here. Big up J.
Of course.
He just always drop gems, y'all.
Hear this. Let me tell you a little flip. All you listening. So here this situation, because you know we're talking about a get through or a going through situation. Is this a get through or going through situation if we have the Nailah Blackman in the studio now? The Nailah Blackman.
Yes.
Talk to me. Is that get through or going through?
That is a definite get through. And a get through with that introduction to her.
Yeah. She shocked me. I was like, you should me too.
I cannot say this girl. I can't
How y'all doing?
Excited to have you.
We're so happy to have you here on this show today, darling. I mean, we waited patiently. We would wait a whole hour for Nailah. She worth it.
Yes.
She is most worth it. So how you doing, darling? You good?
I'm well. How are y'all doing?
So we had lipstick on my teeth too. It's a girl thing.
And you know she busy guy, so she actually just managed to squeeze us in.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before we start with anything at all, this is by management. We had to do this. You all know we had to talk about the anniversary pass. We had to mention it about 2-3 times during the show. And we have to say that this is our first guest announcement, not to mention our Island Girl Spotlight today. Nailah is going to be one of the official guest artists at the anniversary party on June 4th. So all you know, all you have to come. And it's free too. I mean, all you cannot get any better than that. Get listed. Call us, text us, email us, and get listed. If all you want to see Nailah Blackman in the flesh, come on, y'all. Right? Big
For
up
free
yourself.
too? For free?
For free.
Yo, take
Get through.
advantage.
For free
Take
before 12.
advantage.
Free before 12.
Neicy
$100.
before 12, huh?
Oh,
I get excited. I get a little excited.
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't get excited with Nailah? You understand? Come now, man. Come now, man. Look how nice and fresh faced and stuff.
Thank you,
Look
guys.
nice.
Really nice.
We would have to leave this building with security guards if we announced Nailah was going to be here and didn't deliver,
Right?
you know. We here, we doing the show, but we nervous.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Don't
sorry.
be.
You know what I'm saying?
Plus, she has good management too. We cannot. We had a big up Anson
Anson.
Production, Anson Pro,
Definitely.
right? All right, cool. You wanna come and show your face right here with the camera?
It's good stuff.
He's like, it's girls talk. All right. So what we starting with? How we,
Let's go straight into.
we wanna hear the Nailah music running in the background.
Let's get the
You understand?
updates.
So here's how it's going to be, Nailah. Oh, what? Look your face, Ollie. Look your face. Here's how it's gonna be. We're gonna ask you obviously the run-of-the-mill interview questions because we want to know about you. And I mean, if you don't know about Nailah, you are living under a rock. But still, we're gonna ask you the typical interview questions, and we're gonna get a little steamy.
Okay, steamy.
Right? But can I go first?
Yes.
You good.
The first question is: tell us a little bit about your journey thus far.
All right, well, honestly, my journey has been a very interesting one, to say the least. It's definitely had a lot of highs, a lot of lows. You know, it's not easy being an artist. It's something that is very challenging, not just on the craft-wise, but just like in general, maneuvering the industry, the stamina to keep up, to keep going, because it's something that can really tire you out if you don't have good health, if you don't have, so I would say I've been truly blessed from the beginning. When I came out in 2017, I would say I was ready to receive what it is that came to me, I've been working my entire life on music, so for me, doing music was about music, but then when I got into the music industry, I realized, this is not just about music. Okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay. But it was great to be able to have people receive the work that you work on in the studio and behind closed doors, and then experience it in a party or at a store or just somewhere else. So from the beginning, coming out with Workout and Baila Mami. I just want to say big up to Shawna. Shawna was part of my team from the beginning, like dancing on stage when I had a song and a half, and I had to do a little dance segment in between, and she and Kelsey really helped me. Like it was such a blast. Around that time, it was just so different to how things are even now. Like like the time was just so different, and you would think, that was just like what 5 years ago, and it was just such a different scene. And I was fortunate to come out in that time, and then moving on. To the years after, I was nominated for the BET Award, and just everything started to take off like more internationally, and touring and getting to see the world and experience music in a different way. But it was very hard to create, I would say, because when you're so busy, and that's something that people don't even think about. I never thought about it. I could have never foreseen that it's so difficult to create, doing so many shows, having so many interviews, doing so much like networking, like just being out and not having the time to like, because as an artist, like your mind needs to be clear. You need to be you need to be in tune with yourself. You need time to think, time to just wake up in the morning and drink a cup of tea, like not just rush out, like to really like have yourself together to create something. So I think like all that touring was so rough on me that I just felt like I didn't even want to create. And that was like something that was opposite of who I am, because I breed and create, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why when the pandemic happened, I there was a lot of money that went down the drain that year. Like I can't even say, when I tallied it up, I cried. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know I made this much money. And it was crazy, because new things was happening in my life, but then it all just went silent. And I was sad at first, but then I was like, this is great. Like this is fantastic. Yeah, you know, this is fantastic. Here I am able to address my own emotions. Here I am able to hear my own thoughts. Here I am able to unplug if I wanted to, not need to be in tune. Here I am able to write how I really feel. And grow, mature as an artist, be exactly who I want to be, you know? And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years during this pandemic. And it's been great. It's been challenging, and there's just so many new things happening. So
there's always that silver lining.
Yeah,
Always. No matter what, you know.
And
no matter what you're going through.
Exactly. Funny that you said that, because today we've been discussing work-life balance. Yeah. And I kind of always wonder, because I see you getting busy, but I must say, even from the start, Nailah, when we were around you had like the best work ethic I ever seen. And you were young, so I've seen like big artists.
I'm still younger.
You know what?
Younger. Yes, younger.
At that age, like how could you even understand that you need to have that amount of commitment and that amount of discipline to your craft? And I have worked with other artists who've been around for many, many years, and they did not have that level of discipline. So I see, you know, where you are today is definitely a result of that. But I do want to know, I know you said it hard, but how do you balance your work life?
Work and personal life.
I would say I'm the worst person to ask this question, because I do not think I have had a balance, right? I've tried, but I just don't feel like if my personal life is as interesting, you know? So it's like I think I'm just more drawn to what is like, what fascinates me, like what gets me going when the morning comes up, and like doing us like staying at the studio till 4 a.m. in the morning, and then like capping out at home at 5 o'clock, and then waking up at 10 o'clock is just way more interesting to me than hanging out with friends all night. Like, to me, you know what I'm saying? So I haven't had a balance, but I've strived to, and I think it's really about what you want. Like every day, I would say everybody, I'm sure they have in their mind of the things that they want, right? And every day you must do something to get, is either you believe in yourself or not, you know, you must do something to get to that point. And there's things you must do, there's things you need to do, and I always do the things I need to do, and then there's things that you want to do, and then I always do the things I want to do, but sometimes there's some things that I want more than others, so it's like there's other things I definitely want to do, but I'm like, you know what, this seems like it'll be more beneficial like 5 years down the road, so let's do this, you know. And I think that way a lot now, because I was actually just telling my mom this yesterday. Like, I was just thinking back. Like, I mean, yes, I can play the guitar, I could play the keys, and I could play pan a little bit. And I was like, you know, I really wish that when I was younger, I spent more time on my instruments, because like now I feel like I might have been better off, but I used to rail party. I used to do so much fun things. Like I had so much fun growing up. And she was like, no, like that was the time for it, you know, like I was 15, 16, whatever. Right? No, I'm telling you, I rail party like every weekend, you know. So I always say like, I really wish like, maybe I might have been further if I put more time then, but she was like, no, that was the time for that, you know, that was the time for that. So it's always about what you want, what you need, and what you want. And once you understand that about yourself, like the balance is what it is. It is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I would say right now I don't have balance at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I work, like, I would say I work 85% of my time. So that's not really balanced, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Love it.
Sometimes people's work life is their happiness,
Yeah.
girl, and
Yeah.
this is your passion too. So I mean, it's not gonna feel like work. You know what I mean?
I
So
know.
big up you.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does. Aspects of it that you
Yeah.
like more than the others.
For sure.
I mean, all you need to do all to have that balance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else we have for her? Who wants to ask a question? Is it me again?
Yeah, you go
Yes,
through.
yes.
You go
Gosh,
through.
boy, oh
It's your segment.
gosh.
You go through.
All right, we always ask the female artists this. What challenges or obstacles would you say you faced to date as an artist and as a female one at that?
Okay, what challenges and obstacles have I faced? Okay, so challenges and obstacles, they're two different things. So I think I'll touch on a challenge and I'll touch on an obstacle. I think a challenge would be to stay focused and remember who you are and what you came here for. Because I think, when I got into this, I didn't want to be famous, to be honest.
I feel that.
I never really wanted to be famous. I want to make good music. I was like, I love music so much. Like, I just want to make good music. And then as you get into it and you get famous for making good music, it's partially what you let people do and then partially what people do, because so it's not, I can't just blame people, but they start to make you feel like you want to be famous, like, like you have to like,
Do
and
this.
I'm like, okay, yes, I like how this feels, but this is not what I came here for,
Yeah.
So I would say that it was a challenge for me to sort of like stay focused and remember that this is not about the glitz and glam and shiny and thing and okay, all these things come with it, but it's much deeper than that. It's an emotional thing, it's a spiritual thing, it's a creative thing. It's so many things wrapped into one, and I understand why people say like, artists sell their soul or whatever, because the reason why is because you give your heart and soul into this thing and you're literally selling it. So it's like maybe who knows, because I don't know anything about that, but maybe it is literal. But I felt like I started to feel like, maybe this is why, because you give your everything and staying focused on what you came here for, not what people make you feel like is what's important at this point in time. That is a challenge because there's just so much attention, that you might feel like,
And it's easy to get lost in the hype for some people.
It's easy to get lost in a hype. For me, I don't really take on a hype. I don't really like a hype because I just feel like I could tell it's a hype, and I'm like, hype don't last, right? But it's just about staying focused, So I would say that's a challenge, and an obstacle, I would say, an obstacle, right?
That's good. That is not to the top of your brain.
No,
So for the most part,
no.
it's been good.
It's not at the top of my brain, but I would say an obstacle would be
Give us
Good.
one.
It's good if you can't think of any,
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
thing.
That's a
That's
good
a
thing.
thing.
Because you ask some people where's the issue and they're ready to rattle off. And
no. I would say no. To be honest, your mind is your biggest obstacle.
Right.
okay.
Because sometimes you can do something, but you just have that thought at the back of your mind.
Yes,
And your mind is the most
Yeah, she needs some snaps for
powerful.
that.
Yeah, she needs some
It's the
snaps.
most
snaps.
powerful thing that you can do, because there's nothing physical, nothing real that can ever stop you if you want something. Only you can stop you if you really want something. Only your mind can stop. And I would say my mind has been an obstacle for me many times, not feeling good enough, not feeling pretty enough, not feeling like if I have enough money to do certain things. Those things are just objects, right? Your willpower to do something, your clarity, your belief, your faith, your certainty is what's going to get you there. So I would say your mind can be your obstacle or your biggest
My goodness.
tool.
You
Your
touch real
biggest,
hearts here today for sure.
Well, so, no, we have to give her the snaps.
That
Snaps.
was,
I don't even think I have
Nailah
a
dropping some
empowerment
gems.
moment after that.
You guys, we want to see love hearts, fire, all of that in the chat room.
Oh my god! I was watching this and I was like, "Is this to eat now or after?" No, I'm messy, so I'll do it after.
That's all right, darling. That's all right. All right, we're gonna touch on stuff quickly, and as brief, because we have a lot to get through it there, right?
Okay. I like that.
How do you feel knowing that you literally come from soca royalty? What with your granddad Rashoti, I being the inventor of soca, and well, so many of your other relatives being in the local and regional and even international music industry.
I feel blessed, honestly, and I think it's been something that has really grounded me because even though as much as I would just like to think about myself and what I want to do, a lot of times I have to think about them and how they would feel with certain things that I do, and just like if they would be proud at the end of the day, and just what it's going to do for my cousins and my siblings to come or whoever, you know, because it's like when you come from a family that is great, regardless of status or like popularity or whatever, when you come from greatness, you always have to maintain greatness. So it's a blessing, and it's also sometimes a little bit of a I would just say what's a word I could use for no, I wouldn't use a struggle. I would say it's a anchor, something that holds you down, but not in a bad way, that keeps you grounded, you know what I'm saying? So indeed.
Makes sense.
That's important.
Love it.
I want to hear a little bit about drama, though, because I know that's a new thing now.
Oh, we getting into drama. We have to lead into that.
That song that gets sent to certain people on WhatsApp. Like, listen, this song explain it. Listen that.
What was the inspiration behind that?
So I actually wrote that song along with a writer from the UK, and Anson, and that happened right before the pandemic in 2019. I was actually in France, and I got an opportunity to work with this producer called Progression, and we took the train to London, and it was so nice. Like, we went under the water, and I was like, oh my god! But it was really, that day was really, like, I want to say, I felt like if I was in a dream. And I honestly, like, you write certain things and you don't know what you're writing about until like a year later, and you're like, holy shit, this is what I was writing about. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's those moments. Sometimes you just get a melody and you sing a line and whatever, and it doesn't mean anything at that point in time, and then time passes and you're like, this is what I'm talking about. You know, I would say that I love that. I'm so sorry to all the people that were hit badly in this pandemic, but this pandemic was a blessing for me, and I call it the purging pandemic. Because so many people in my life that were very much in my life and present are no more.
What we talk about today?
It shows you what really matters. It shows you who you really should be around. It shows, because this is the time when everybody at their lowest, everybody at their low. Like, I was at my low, everybody at their low, right? And people show their true colors when they're at the low. They show the true colors, you know what I'm saying?
You know what you're saying, right?
I know what I said.
What you're saying right now.
They show the true colors, and it's like, and for me, I showed my true colors to myself, because sometimes you're not even showing your true colors right through. You know, you don't even know, you're unaware. You're living, I don't want to say a zombie, but you're living in autopilot, right? And now, you have to face the music. You have to face the music, and so many people I purged out of my life in 2020 and in 2021.
Time wasting people that is from you.
Exactly. So that's all I'll say. I don't know why I keep on falling for all this drama. That's it.
Oh God! All right. So you get your response now, right? That's where drama comes from. All right, so we know your foray into soca music didn't start out as such, right? And that you also wrote and performed other genres of music. Tell us, what is your process when writing a new song? Where does your inspiration come from? I know you touched a little bit on that just now, but also I wanted to point out too, when I first saw you perform, it was at a small showcase in Tobago. You remember that?
I thought it was Rush Street. No?
I can't even remember. It was some place.
Oh
in-
yes,
right?
oh yes, I remember that. Yes,
Right,
that was,
and I was there, you were there, and there was a few other
I
artists.
remember.
And I saw Nailah. I didn't know it was before 2017, and I saw Nailah perform this song with her guitar, and my first thought and impression was, why this child not famous? Because you was a baby then to me.
I think that might have been 2015 or 16.
Right.
One of them.
And I was like, this.
It was summer.
I was
Yeah.
like, this is from Trinidad. That's what I was thinking. This is from Trinidad. Why is she not famous yet? You know what I mean? And the person who was running the showcase, I was like, where will you find this girl? Do right by this child because she is like I've not heard a voice like yours and the style. Even though you were doing, what would you call your genre of music?
Back then, I would call it Caribbean folk, you know.
Right.
Like, it's very folksy as in alternative. Not like what we call folk, but like what Americans would call folk. Very storytelling, singer-songwriter. But then it's also very Caribbean in my sense, as I would just speak plain how I speak in real life, you know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So I'd never seen or heard that from any artist anywhere.
Yeah.
The closest I would come is literally from her family because they have the jamu thing going on.
Yes,
There's a
yeah.
certain cadence in their voices
Yeah.
that you'd hear from Nailah,
Yeah.
even Marge and Isaac. Right? So it's a thing. I can't, it's a je ne sais quoi, you can't quite put your finger on.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
you
black
could-
man thing.
It's a Blackman thing.
It's a Blackman
But
thing.
it was that with a huge twist when I hear you perform like that. And I was like, this girl has to, like, you
Some
know what I
process.
mean? It,
Yeah.
Or
it
just
can't
natural.
be, we can't
It
have
can
all
be
this
DNA.
talent sitting here and nothing. But of course we see
We saw,
now where
yeah.
that went, you know?
Surprisingly, I had a different experience because what made me a fan was cigarettes.
That was in Rush Street. That was in Rush Street, yeah.
So it was cigarettes, and I was like, this, like the storytelling, and also that's like the style, like you can't put it in a particular genre.
Yeah.
And then even like when you did the transition with soca, I was like, when people would talk about like, you know, the song with Cass and whatnot, I'm like, but you all don't know cigarettes? y'all need to check out cigarettes. And then to see like you're bringing that essence back,
Into
like
the
it's
soca.
still, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
you still give us that version of Nailah. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
it's don't try to box her in. It still have that variety. Yeah.
So what's your songwriting process like?
I would say that the process is whatever it is, you know, because there's no real code or nothing, because every song is different, you know. Some, like, back then I wrote by myself all the time. Now I write with other writers. Sometimes I still write by myself. A lot of times I just write with Anson. So it's different when you're writing with people you don't really know versus somebody I know very well. And then when you're writing by yourself, you know. So every process is different. If I'm composing on the guitar, sometimes I'll start with chords. Sometimes I might just start with a melody that I'm singing, and then I'll bring it to the guitar and find the chords, and then sometimes it may even be if I will have a word, I'll have a poem, like I wrote a poem and then I put melody to that poem, or it may start with a beat, you know, Anson starts a beat and then I just hear it and then I start writing it like that. Or if somebody else have a hook or like a something, and then I come and write verses around it, you know. So every song is different, you know. The energy, the everything. So it's really just about the specific project.
Many
Yeah.
processes. Okay, I have two more, right? Because some of these questions we have here, she already touched on in
Yeah,
previous
yeah.
answers. Tell us a little bit about your foray into the business side of things with Sweet and Loco. Tell us. We do it due diligence. Our due diligence, you know, we do it.
Yeah, I would say, well, first of all, this product is amazing. But no, I don't need to toot my own horn, but I swear.
Toot,
Like, it's so fantastic. I think during the pandemic, when everything was shut down and, you know, I was just wondering, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do, like, how am I going to live, you know? Like, I just taken on a lot of different financial responsibilities, and I was like, holy shit, like, I'm not even going to be able to, like, work, like, till who knows when, you know. And when you're accustomed to having like a constant monthly, like every weekend, literally for 2020 I was booked for every single weekend of that year up until October.
Wow.
And like in November and December it was spaced out. It wasn't so constant, but literally it was every single weekend, like down the line. So it was like you projected a certain amount of finances, and I was like, this is where, as artists, you have to be smart. This should have been dealt with before. Now, you should have never been in a predicament where you're wondering how you're gonna make ends meet. So I have a lot of ideas. I came up with so many ideas during the pandemic, but this one came to me very organically. And at first, the guy and I, Casey, we were gonna do a flavored water. Well, it was gonna be water, and then I was like, I love fruits, and like let's do like a flavored water because I'm very health conscious. I'm very into to healthy stuff. So water was it for me, and then we said, okay, I love fruits. Fruits is my thing. Let's do a flavored water kind of thing, and then it graduated from that into just being a juice because I couldn't understand the concept of not that I couldn't understand, but I didn't know that it would have been possible to have a product that is actually 100% organic and able to last on the shelves. Because to me, like all juices the way they are, because because you needed to be able to sell. And he was like, like coconut water, it comes and goes, like it can't stay long, like it. And we were like, okay, cool, let's make this revolutionary product that is actually 100% real juice, like real juice.
Nice.
So when you drink Sweet and Loco, it is like fruit in a bottle. Literally. And like everybody that tasted said the same thing. It's like, this is so unique. You feel like if your mother was in the kitchen, squeeze the orange and then just swizzle it around, and it's so it's really it really is. It's really fantastic.
She's doing a good job promoting that. I need to get my hands on some.
No,
Sweet
you
and
do.
Loco.
No,
So where is it now?
Right now, it's in Price Mart, right? And it will be soon on the shelves of Massy
We
stores.
go in there.
Okay.
Right. So guys, get your Sweet and Loco. We like to promote women too on this platform. This is what it is about, right? So we have no problem advertising Sweet and Loco for your darling. You understand what I'm saying? So get your Sweet and Loco. It's at Price Mart, and where else
Soon
it's going to
at
be?
Massey's.
Massey's.
Yeah, not yet.
Very nice. Very nice. I have 2 more interview questions, and then we go and move to the fun stuff.
Steamy. Okay.
Touch briefly on what it was like collaborating with Teja on Dingole, and what was the inspiration behind that, and who wrote and produced it, and all of that.
So Dingole is a great song. I really enjoyed working on this song, and Mikal has been somebody that I would say part of my journey from day one. He wrote on Workouts, and he also co-wrote on Iron Love. So he was somebody that has always been in my team doing like some sort of work, even if it's just like a production, something somewhere in between. I did one of his songs called Toxic in 2020 that he wrote and produced for me. So we just had a really good relationship, and he sent me this song during the pandemic in 2020, right? Yeah, we saved it a long ass time, right? And when I heard it, I was like, so it was produced by Tano and himself, and at first it was written by him. So it was a full song he sent me, and I was like, this song it sounds like it has some potential, it sounds like it has some potential. I said, I don't really like it just as it is, but it sounds like it has some potential. So let me come in the studio and work on the song, and let's see how it goes. So I came down by his studio, Anson and I, and we both we changed around the verses. The chorus stayed the same, but we changed around the general structure of the song, even the pre-chorus, everything. It was like a brand new song, but the Dingole essence stayed. You know what I'm saying? Because with reference to Shadow and stuff like that. So it was just a very beautiful song, and that day was a great day. It was just genuine vibes, and we just flushed out the song in one day, and we recorded, and that it was like that, and it was literally done in one day. And then we were like, oh, this song's so bad, we can't release it if it don't kind of that. I was like, no, just put it out, whatever. We went back and forth for a long time, because I was like, we have no idea when this pandemic is gonna be finished. We can't just say let's just hold the song because it's too good, you know what I'm saying. But I was like, okay, 1 year, so we held it for 1 year, there, and then we,
Yeah.
and then we released it. Yeah,
When he sent it, it was supposed to be a Nailah song or a collab off the
a
bat?
collab off the bat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice. All right. I know I said one more, but two more. So, what projects are on the horizon for you that we can look out for?
Well, you know, I have a song every month for you. So for this drama was like first month. So Budum Budum was last month before that.
Love Budum Budum.
That's Matthew. It's too short, eh? But it's too short. As soon as you get into it, I had to go back and start over.
That's good. That's the point.
Neicy bold face, you know. Neicy wants to tell people how long I had a song
It's too
for.
short. I had to find out a Nailah Budum Budum on loop.
On loop, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I have a dope collab, right, coming soon. It's with an African artist. Yes. So y'all could look out for that one. And I have so many other projects in the pipeline.
No doubt.
A lot of big stuff coming actually. So y'all just gonna have to stay tuned because it's a process, it's a bill, you know, we going up, we doing it. So yeah, let's
Feel
just
free
say
to come back to Island Girl Talk to drop any new releases.
sure.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Last one for sure.
Okay.
And we always ask this because you got to. What advice or tips can you give to new and upcoming young ladies coming up in the local music industry? We know that you were there once. What have you learned and can share with others?
I would say set your standards and stick to it. Right? That's really important because a lot of people, as I heard y'all touch on, is gonna try to tell you what you're worth. Right? And no one tells you what you're worth. You set your standards and you stick to it. Right? You definitely should do your research and you know, make sure and be informed so that what you represent and what you set yourself as is not crazy, you know. But I would say take good advice because a lot of times, like artists, they're given advice and they don't take it. But there's not all advice you need to take. So take the good ones and understand that it's good. Make sure and have your core team be people that you can really trust and really depend on. Because a team is so important. It is not a one-man show. It is an army, literally. It could be a small army, right? It could be a giant army, but you definitely need your soldiers, right? So don't ever feel like if you could ever do it on your own, like nobody can. And it's not built like that, you know? So definitely have your team be proper. Know your people. Know your people. That's really important. And then believe in yourself and be sure about yourself. You can never be 100% sure. There will always be times when you're wavering. It's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be not certain. But you definitely have to have faith and believe in yourself. Because if you go believe in yourself, nobody will. You have to be your number one supporter. You have to be your number one everything. Because if you depend on it from other people, you will surely fail, right? That's just like a few.
Well said. Well said, Nailah. Dropping
More that I'm curious.
All right, let me go.
I was curious because I feel like people forget artists are human.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I want to know, like, did you ever feel like you did not fit in, and like, how do you feel now? Like,
I've never felt like I fit in my entire life. And I still don't feel like I fit in. I feel like a nail sticking out of a piece of wood. But
don't
I'm
need to fit in.
shiny. I'm shiny as hell. I'm not rusted.
Yes.
You
She
know what
don't
I'm
need
saying?
to fit in when she can stand out.
Yeah.
You
You
I
understand?
love that.
My question has like a party and me, so I'm gonna go quick. You mentioned about team, and from day one it's been Nailah and Anson. I mean, we will have other people, but we know
Jen, I want to say big up to Jen one time. She has been our assistant from day one.
Right.
And she says, and I always tell her, she's much more than an assistant. Like, she's a lifesaver. She is fantastic. Laurie, she's been part of the team from the first year as well. And that's so important, honestly. My family, I mean, there's different people that have smaller roles than they do, but they're the main soldiers, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think makes this dynamic work with the people that you say for day one? Because normally after a period, the people change, but for some reason it stays with you.
That core, that
what
particular
makes
team.
this relationship dynamic work?
I would say I was blessed, right? First of all, because I know a lot of people who were not blessed with real people like I
Preach.
have been. And I think it's because I knew exactly what I wanted. And even when sometimes I wasn't sure about what I wanted, I put it out in the energy that I put out energies about what I wanted to receive. So even though I don't know what a
She know the
need
thing.
is like,
She know
what
the
I want
thing.
to receive. So it's like when you pick your team, you don't just pick your team, they also pick you. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what, like, you have to understand frequency. You have to understand, like, people on wavelengths. Because for me, like, with Anson, right? Anson was a very, very organic. Anson was my producer, right? That I was doing background vocals for him on his songs, and he was producing songs for me in barter, right? I used to travel from San Fernando all the way to Arima to sit down in the studio, watch him produce somebody else's song for like 4 hours, and then be like, okay, cool, you have time for me now? Cool. You know what I'm saying? So it was a friendship, right? And eventually, like, we worked on all kind of things. We worked on pop stuff. We worked on, what I was doing with my guitar. We worked on all kind of different things. And one day I said, I want to work on a soca. And he was like, I thought you would never ask. Like, yo, let's do this, you know what I'm saying? And he still wasn't my manager. He was just my producer. When the song Work Out Bus, then he was like, yo, like, this could be something. Like, you have to let me find a manager for you. He went and he called everybody he knew in the industry and told them, yo, I have this artist, like, she real bad, she need a good manager, blah, 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 blah. Every single person turned him down. Females is trouble. Thing, whatever. Nah, I have too much on my plate. Thing with this girl, nah, thing. Everybody turned him down. He was like, he didn't want to make me feel bad, like, but he was like, yo, like, nobody really wants a manager, So, what you want to do? Like, would you allow me to manage you? I've never managed somebody before, but I know I can do it. And I was like, say less, say less. Like, let's just do it. Like, I don't need somebody who is out there like that.
Because you already know him.
Exactly, say less. And we started grinding all over the place, literally. Like, we went in every nook and cranny. And from the beginning, Jen, she was in UE, and she did an interview with him, and she was so impressed by the way, like, he answered the questions and stuff, because she was doing something like on a thesis or whatever. And she was like, I want to work for you one day. Like, if you she's like, I'll work for you for free. If you ever need somebody to work for you, I'm the person for the job, right? And he called her up and was like, yo, I have this artist, like, thing. And from day one, she started working with me. And we weren't even paying her until we could make enough money. And then we started paying her, and then it was smooth sailings. And eventually, when we started to make money, and then we realized, whoa, this is a lot of work, and this is a lot of things. And Anson can't do everything. So that was when we found Lauren. And to be honest, we were looking for it in our minds, but we weren't like actively looking for somebody. And I had a meeting with her and somebody else, and she wasn't even supposed to be at that meeting. She just wanted to book me for Miss Universe show to sing, and she was there to talk to Anson to get me to perform at the show. And when I met her, I was like, I didn't even know what she did, I had no idea what she did. I did not know she could do you're gonna be on my team. And that was it. Like, energy. That was it. So
Amazing.
yeah,
I think we ready?
I ready?
All right.
yeah, I'm scared now. They all look like y'all have something under the hood.
She's doing fabulously, guys. But I want to give Nailah a break. Let her drink some water, eat
Thank
a little
you.
watermelon. Right? We're gonna take a 1.5 minute break, and we will be right back, because we're gonna put Nailah in the hot box. The hot box, Nailah. We don't look she face.
This is a woman show. This is
Look
all
her
females, so
face. Give that face again. Give that face. She catch it. She already know what it means. Yeah. So guys, stay tuned. We will be back with more Island Girl Talk with Nailah Blackman in the hot box. Keep it locked.
That would be totally Trinidad, and let us call it a Douglas rhythm, so to speak.
Ping pong 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 pong. It's Nailah. So ping pong 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 pong. It's like girls gone wild. I go get my grill on. Hard as ice and sparkling gold. I'm in a tropical paradise I call home. It's like an alpha and omega, Trinidad to Vega. When I see my people dancing, all I hear is soca. All day long, not gonna leave you for nothing. All day long, I'm gonna play for we bumping. Ping pong 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 pong, ping pong 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 pong. Somebody say soca till I die. Somebody say soca, give me life. Somebody say soca, keep it playing so loud. We ain't even know about anything but soca, soca, soca. Look that grills on, wild out, go round. Soca, girls go lower, lower. Scotia playing soca. Know that we got soca, soca. I can't even sleep 'cause rhythm banging in me brain like it them. Taking over me whole system. How we sound is sweet, so play, play. All day long, not gonna leave you for nothing. All day long, I'm gonna play for we bumping. Ping pong 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 pong, ping pong 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 pong, ping pong 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 pong, ping pong pong pong. Somebody say soca till I die. Somebody say soca, give me life. Somebody say soca, keep it playing so loud. We ain't even know about anything but soca, soca, soca. Look that grills on, wild out, go round. Soca, girls go lower, lower. Scotia playing soca. Know that we got soca, soca. Give me the rhythm. I want y'all to feel this one. Feel the soul, feel the love, feel the unity. I love you, Lord Shorty. Ping pong 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 pong, ping pong pong. Somebody say soca till I die. Somebody say soca, give me life. Somebody say soca, keep it playing so loud. We ain't even know about anything but soca, 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 bang bang, hey, bang bang, bang bang, hey. Oh, I'm in love with soca. I can't do without it. Soca, 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 soca,
Farming, we farming, farming, we farming. Heading to the land, yeah, we going to the farm on a regular, we planting. Farming, we farming. Start me draw on a 999 Nailah. Hey, hey, ooh, oh, oh. Diggy down, down, down. Diggy down, hey, hey. Diggy down, down, down. Diggy down, hey, hey.
Yes, I am a farmer. I take block on in a me chana. What a me banana. I took and take a me kasala. walk. See that side, we that side, waste of time. All natural, yeah, me never know lie. Buy from me barn and they want to know how. Come to my farm and you find out. Dig up this life for me down there. Go, dig up this life for me down there. Go, all of the thing for me, baby. Go, dig up this life for me down there. Down there. Dig it down, dig it down, down, down. Dig it down there, hey. Dig it down, 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 down. Dig it down there, hey. Oh, yeah, put it in the hole and when you're done, cover it up. Watch this seed and go until we ready for the crop. And when the crop them come, well, you could get a little taste.
Welcome back to Island Girl Talk, guys. Today has been phenomenal. We have the most beautiful, talented, phenomenal person in the building, and that is Nailah Blackman.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Let me see the flames.
Right about now, we're gonna take her into the hot box, and we're gonna have her show her paddles. You know, we have this from last time, so we're ready.
Yeah.
Right?
But before we get into all this hotness, I just need to let y'all know that Nailah is the first official confirmed guest for our O.U.R radio anniversary party.
Yes.
Right? So y'all, we giving y'all this. You're coming to
As a
celebrate it. Yeah, it's a gift.
It's a gift.
You're
a
going
gift.
to come and see Nailah live performing for free.
For
before
free.
12. Before 12.
The gift of Nailah.
On Saturday, 4 June, we all head to Silhouette's Lounge for our radio 1 year anniversary. So you're coming to
Yeah.
party with everybody, the O.U.R radio team, the different shows, all the different personalities, and we have a lot more
Indeed.
performance coming. But you know, we had to start the thing off
Yeah.
right with the one and only watermelon. Yeah.
Oh God! Oh, let's see, she eating her watermelon.
I did.
Oh,
I didn't
gosh.
do it on camera because it would have been too sloppy. You know, I'm very messy with it.
So to get listed, you just need to send your full name to our WhatsApp number, which is 466-4OUR. That is 466-4687, or email party@OURradio.fm to get listed, you guys. Stay tuned to our social media. Follow us on social media for all the updates, because it is going down on June 4th.
At Silhouette.
At Silhouette.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I.
you're ready for this hot?
Are they ready?
Of course.
Okay,
It's
so.
about to be.
Adonai, she had to switch to, look at she fanning herself already. So this is how it's gonna go down. We're gonna ask you a series of yes/no questions. Nailah, you're not obligated to explain yourself. Just hold it up yes or hold it up no.
Okay.
After that, we're gonna ask you some would you rather questions, some weird questions, darling. So I mean, all right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ladies, you ready?
Of course.
Who wants to go first?
Go easy on her first.
I would say we're going easy nothing. Nailah could handle it. All right, we go easy.
I have one. Have a
Right?
easy one. Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
She's a good girl, man.
Okay.
Nailah Blackman, she had to obey the rules. Come now, man.
You stay there and feel so.
Neicy, what about you?
Let me see.
Okay, I will go. Ay. I want to ask one that we had asked before.
Okay.
Would you betray a friend for $1 million?
Oh, I know she going there.
Neicy, she thinking about it. She's a girl out of her own heart.
So, I would say yes, and then I would have to explain this one, because this one cannot be left unexplained. Because I think that if she's really my friend, she would want me to do it.
That's why I say
That's what I say.
That's what we
Because
say.
we would split it half and half.
All you wanted to pound me last
Thank
time.
you.
When I say yes.
Thank you.
All you wanted to pound me. Anna, is my mic on? All you wanted to pound me.
Because
She's really my friend. She would want it. She would
Thank
say,
you.
because listen, who wouldn't want $500,000? Come on.
And then you go and say, oh, you understand, I had to go and do, but here, hold something, hold that. Come on, man. I betraying for $1 million US. $20.
My question: do you speak more than one languages?
I'm learning Spanish and French right now. Me aprender español.
Oh gosh,
drop one.
Me. All right, I feel I'm going under tricky. Should I go under tricky?
Yeah.
I know it's
I have
away
one.
from steamy.
Because all they're taking long. Do
All right,
you
go.
think you're a good kisser?
I know it, baby. I don't think.
But you put
I put no. I don't think. I know it, baby. Thank you very much.
You're damn right.
Don't worry then.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I put it as no. We don't think. Come on, no.
The confidence is real. The confidence is real.
All right, I have one. It's a tricky one, right? Okay. If a stranger told you that they knew a dark secret about your parents, would you want to find out what it was? That's right.
Okay.
That is right.
Because they like bacchanal.
That is
and we
right.
don't entertain them things.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
If you could read people's minds, would you?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh gosh.
Get tricky.
All right. Oh gosh. Try to give her a tricky one again. Let me get spicy. I know the people want spicy.
Yes, we warm over here.
Yeah.
Have you ever used food during sex?
Oh
my gosh.
Are you single?
Yeah. And even if she wasn't, she should still put yes, because nobody should know she business.
Yeah, nobody
Right?
gonna slide in the DMs.
What you have there, Neicy?
Have you ever stalked an ex? Whether it's in physical or social media?
Wow, what did we say? Stalk? Like, what is like? Okay. Let me be honest. Okay.
I think we've all been there at least in some form or fashion.
Because it's like,
the process.
looking at them on social media doesn't mean you stalk it. Stalk is a very strong word.
It is,
like,
it is.
We sticking with stalk by the definition of stalk. Have you ever stalked an ex?
I wouldn't say stalk, but I can't say no. You know,
Okay,
so
understood,
so I'm just gonna put my
understood.
yes up.
I have one. It's so ridiculous. All right, I have one. Forgive me, darling. Oh shit! Have you ever farted during an intimate moment with a lover?
Honestly, I'll say nothing, Mom. I'll say nothing more.
She is not obligated to explain herself.
Yeah.
What we have? Me again?
Toys. After that one.
I had to ask it. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
now.
yeah.
You ask it.
Do you own any sex toys? Okay.
Good girl.
So I still the only yes on this panel.
Yes.
I gotta show mine when I go home. I want to join the no club.
All right. I think this is the last one for the yes no. Then we go
Yes.
into a couple.
Would you rather?
Right? Because we on time. We on time. Okay. I just had it here. You know. Where is it? Intimate moment. Good. Have you ever had sex in a public place?
Nailah.
Oh, good.
Okay.
All right, I think that's it. All in mind. That's it for all you. Y'all in the chat room. That's enough. That's enough. We're moving on briefly to would you rather.
Who would I rather?
We have some hard ones, some deep ones, some tough ones, some profound ones, some weird ones.
Do we have any easy ones? Because we just have a lot of. Okay.
Right? I think each of us would do like one,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we get a gala rest. All right? All right. Go first now.
Okay. Do you feel you're young at heart or an old soul?
I would say both, right? I would say that I'm an old soul, but then I do think that I'm a child. Like, in so many ways.
All right. I'm going to give you a morbid one.
Okay.
All right? Would you rather, remember it's would you rather? Would you rather know the date of your death or the cause of your death? I know it's morbid.
I would say the cause of my death.
Nice.
Because why not?
Nobody wants to know.
Because to be honest, you're gonna die anyway.
Exactly.
Right? Actually, I think I'll switch.
Oh, gosh.
I think I want to know the date just so that you can prepare for
Yes.
the date. Because to
That's
be
what
honest,
you
you're gonna
say,
die
Shawna.
anyway. Why know the cause? You know what I'm saying? What's that gonna do for you? That ain't gonna do nothing. If you know the date, you can literally plan for your like children, for your life, for everything, so that you wouldn't be like unexpected. You would know the date, and then you could live the day like if it's your last, because you know it's gonna be your last.
Good
Knowing how
point.
you die serves no purpose.
True.
Because you will die.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Would
going
you,
next?
would you rather marry the person of your dreams or have the job of your dreams? If you had to choose.
Well, I already have
But
the
you could
job of
only
my
have one.
dreams.
So it's one or the other.
Well, no, I would prefer the job of my dreams because you don't need to marry the person of your dreams to be with the person of your
find out
dreams for the
loophole.
rest of your life.
Smart girl.
So she'll have the person of her dream that's never married.
Yeah, I don't need to get married.
Okay.
This is one that Shawna put to us last time. Right? I find you rather out of place with
you
this
should
stuff.
change the artist because I'm making it too easy.
How it making it easy?
Making
We
it
leaving the
easy.
original
Alright,
artist.
fine.
Oh, I
Would
know where y'all going.
Let me hear this.
Would you rather have sex with voice in secret or not have sex with voice but everyone thinks you did?
First of all, everybody thinks I with all kind of people. So I just rather everybody thinks so, and then because I mean,
Right.
yeah, that make more sense.
Right.
People just think anything
And
anyway.
you don't have to care what nobody thinks.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Not actually
Alright.
knowing your
She
business.
make that one easy.
Yeah.
She make that one easy.
Yeah, she's smooth
Okay.
at it.
Anybody else? We need one good one. A real good one.
That's not.
It's so many.
I'll make it a little bit too easy for you.
Yes, man.
Making it like a champ. You don't like that.
Challenge me.
I can't figure it out. What is she
Okay.
doing too good?
Would you rather give up your favorite food or give up your phone?
My phone.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Don't make jokes.
Food.
Come
Food is
on.
life.
Come on.
All right, last one. You all think this should be the last one?
Nah, bring thing.
Bring thing. All
Bring
right.
thing.
Do about
Run
5
thing.
more.
Would you rather win the lottery? Would you rather win the lottery or live in good health to be 200 years old? Let me repeat. Would you rather A, win the lottery, millions and millions of dollars, or 2, live in good health up to 200 years old?
I would say winning lottery because I'm sorry, but I don't want to live for 200 years. I'm going to watch all my family die. Hell no, I'm going to be depressed. That's not something I want. Like,
I think I might do the 200
Yeah.
just to see where the world goes.
Would you
I
rather-
definitely
Curious
don't want to see
person.
where this world goes.
Yeah.
I know where it's going, and it's going to a dark ass place.
Exactly.
I want to be out when I'm supposed to be out.
Revelation
Like
in
let's have fun and get out. Like on to the next plane.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I hear
So,
that.
Would you rather be the richest person in the world or the smartest person in the world?
I would say the smartest person in the world because you don't need to be the richest person in the world. And if you are the smartest person in the world, you probably might just end up being one of the richest people in the world.
There you
might be
go.
the most rich, but if you're so smart,
Yeah.
like
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to ask you about fashion.
I'm here.
Would you rather always be overdressed or comfy and underdressed?
that's not even a question. I think we should just move on. I think we all know what the answer is. Like, I think we all know what the answer is. Like,
Overdressed?
of course.
Damn right.
So yeah.
But even though I do like to be underdressed, but like for the epicness of it, I do like to just be chill, like, you know, just regular, comfortable. Who doesn't like to be comfortable?
yeah,
but
yeah.
like, if I had the option to always be overdressed, first of all, I don't even know if I would even care what comfort is. But because I've not lived that life, you know, I live a very modest life growing up.
yeah.
I understand the feeling of comfort. But if, you know, I was exposed to that life of just always being like full glam, I think I'd go with that. I think I'd go down as a legend, you know? Yeah.
a fashion icon.
All right, we had to take it to the chat room,
Yeah, in
right?
case anybody
We
had
don't
any
want people
questions.
feeling left out. Now, guys, it's a lot.
Wrap up
So
with the chat room.
here's what. We will go through as much as we can, but
Yeah.
forgive us if we don't get to you today. Or me, no gosh, it's Nailah all here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start. Hold on, huh? Where did we leave off, boy? G. Here we go.
G.
Give me a minute now. All right. So, Rick, I feel we should just go to the part where they're commenting on Nailah.
Yeah, of course,
right?
We're not going back
So
to
let we
yeah,
wait
yeah.
for the fires.
Definitely
Let me
agree.
look for the right. Oh gosh, well, they put me on the spot, boy.
don't worry.
Cha.
You got
So
this, Chris.
Adina says Nailah is here. Cyan says, sending love to Nailah. Saw her perform once in person and I was blown away. That's from Cyan Birbal. Tisha says, she sent some emoji with a love heart. She love you bad. Adina says, I am really inspired by hearing Nailah speak and following her journey alone is truly the best. Cannot wait to meet her in the flesh. The other day I dreamed I met her at a show and we took a photo.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And she's here just for you. Because she reviewed the show before.
Kai said, always a pleasure. Carrie Ann says, Adina, your dream will come true soon. Send in your full name and you will get through on the 400. Carrie Ann is our PR person.
Carry on.
I swear this girl is doing our work for us. All right. Carrie Ann sends her love. Adina says Nailah can be a motivational speaker. I agree. Yes. Very mature, very well-rounded and well-adjusted young lady. I'm impressed. Larry J says needs a snap emoji for the chat. All right. Big up you, Larry. Nails by Maya says, well said. Team Echelon says, legit, just talking to someone about that. People treat artists like they're not human, right? She leaves says, all you are now reach and look Nailah. Sheila says, stalk X nothing. Who has the time, right? Theodore says, handling these questions like a boss. Right, Theodore? She's doing fabulously. I am the title. Priscilla Guevara says, love you, Nai.
Oh, love you,
And Theodore Celestin says, this is the last one. Theodore Celestin says, if you could have one of your songs in a blockbuster movie, what would it be?
Good question.
It's a great question. Okay.
She had to think about that.
Which one of my songs or which?
Oh, wait, let me repeat.
Which song?
He says, if you could have one of your songs in a blockbuster movie, what would that movie be?
What would that movie be? Okay,
Yes.
that's way too hard of a question. I think the reverse would be easier.
So let's
It is on the reverse.
Yeah, I think it would be my song Kills. I would
Kills.
definitely want that because that song is a song that I could definitely hear in a movie, right? And it's just such a, I would love to do a music video for that song because it's just such a dramatic song. I could just see it in so many different types of scenes. Like you could see it in a murder scene, you could see it in a heartbreak scene, you could see it in a sex scene, you could see it in so many scenes. So
I need to listen to that song.
Yeah,
I have
Kills.
to. You didn't do a music video for it at
No,
all?
I never did.
Lyric?
It's on the reel.
It's on the... okay.
Okay.
What'd you say? It's at the end of Bougie. There's a little snippet of the song at the end of the music
check
video.
it out.
Yeah,
Check it out.
But it's on Apple Music, Spotify, all of them. You could just check it out. Kills by Nailah. It's on my EP called The Real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, you heard her. Check it out. Kills. But I feel too, all you have to do is think about your favorite movie too and see.
So
like,
I don't really have a favorite movie, but because there's
mention
just
on
so
anything
many.
with
Oh well, right now Ozark is. Ozark is up there and Elite is up there as well. Yes, because I'm watching it in Spanish.
I was not going to say that's not in Spanish.
Yeah, it is in Spanish, so
All right.
it's going great.
I think that is it. I think I think Nailah had enough of us, you know. I think.
No, I definitely really enjoyed this. This is fun, and I love that even though you guys said that you had typical and steamy questions, I would say that none of these questions were typical. They were all refreshing and somehow at a different angle. Good.
Oh.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job.
We got the approval, right?
Yeah.
Nailah approved. All right, so guys, let's take one very quick break. And by break, I mean 1 minute, just 1 minute. And we will be back with the Empowerment Minute with our lovely Neicy here to calm our souls and you know, prep us for until next week, Wednesday, all right? Keep it locked.
This music's so sweet, look what you do.
Look what you do, look what you do. If you play your cards, that could be you.
You're moving your ways, speaking your truth.
Hey, speak it, lie. When I throw it back, it's back to the roots.
Straight back, yeah.
When last you feel this type of way.
At last we find the remedy.
Long time I'm missing past the bed. Dressing in these streets.
Where I'm from, hot girl whining in town.
Like a riverside band with panorama.
And when the iron start beat is spell drama.
Turn up the heat when we reach in the savannah.
We beat it down, down, beat it down, down.
When last you feel this type of way.
At last we find the remedy.
Long time I miss it past a bit.
So now we give them the rhythm, we get it finally. Come the way.
Dingole with me now. Dingole with me now. Come let me dingole with me now.
So you guys, we're about to wrap up. I mean, entering into the empowerment segments. But before we go, if you're now joining us, I know I say this every time, but today, your mister, the
Yes,
beautiful,
boy.
talented Nailah Blackman is in the building, dropping gems, dropping a lot of gems. And I'm here to kind of seal it up a little bit with my personal gem to take you guys through the rest of the week with our
Empowerment Minute. Now you know we have to get Nailah to do it, right? So Adadias, do it.
Corny, join us
Right? Join the corny.
No problem.
Neicy, once more.
So you guys, it's time for the empowerment
Minute. Yeah,
That's great, actually.
Yeah.
That was nice.
It does.
It's a good breath.
Yes, I.
Always on the show like
She's a natural USA.
Yes.
USA.
Consider me a motivational coach. Today's quote, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And if you were listening to Nailah earlier, she touched on this.
Yeah.
Work on yourself if you want everything else to work for you. When you were talking about taking time during the pandemic, that's like get back to you. And I think we would have talked on it earlier in the show when we were talking about the work-life balance as well. It comes back down to you as an individual. You have to know what you want for yourself, what you want out of life, and you also have to know it relies on you to get to work. Nobody, as much as people want to support you, nobody cannot save you. So you have to figure out the areas that you're slacking in, the areas that you're weak in, the areas that are your strengths, the things that are your talents naturally, and get to work. It doesn't work until you work it.
Right.
Right, ladies?
Indeed.
So let me repeat that. It does not work until you work it. So you could have all the ingredients in the kitchen to make the cake, but if you don't get up and put the ingredients and mix it and
It's
put it
not
in the
gonna
oven, you
happen.
don't have a cake at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? So get to work. And with
Absolutely.
that said, Chris,
And
let me
that
hand it
said,
over to Chris.
it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Island Girl Talk today.
Yes.
We do hope that you guys enjoyed today's topic and, of course, today's guest. Remember that Nailah Blackman is going to not just be our spotlight today, but she's going to be one of the featured guest artists at the anniversary party, O.U.R. Radio's anniversary party on June 4th.
Yep.
All right. We want to thank you so much.
Thank you for having
coming.
me. It was
I'm glad.
absolutely lovely.
We're so happy to hear that you liked it. This is the
Yes.
vibe. We like to
Yeah.
empower women.
Yes.
This is, I mean, we
she
leave
empowered
a
us.
space, right? It's not just about women. We leave a space at the last Wednesday of the month for the men as well.
Guy
But
perspective.
essentially, this is about empowering us women and
Yeah.
bringing all what we have to, all our good stuff to the fore.
Yeah.
You understand? So guys, like Neicy said, if you missed it, sucks to be you, but go back and watch the playback, right? Go back and watch the playback on YouTube, right? Or O.U.R. Radio YouTube stream, and you will see all the episodes, including this one. And
Check out the whole
yes,
playlist, guys.
check it
the whole
out. Check it
playlist.
out.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, support.
That's right.
No
And of course, like I said, well, for the party too, call 466-4-OUR. That's 466-4687.
And get listed.
Yeah.
Right? Or email party@OURradio.
No DMs. No
FM.com.
DMs.
Let me tell the people how to get through. Guys, thank you so much for joining us once more. I'm sorry we couldn't do all the chat comments. You know how it could get. And Nailah has to do her stuff too. She's a busy lady. So we're saying bye for now.
And also go support local with Nailah
That's
Sweet
right.
and local just now available.
Sweet and local.
Yes, Sweet and local now available at Price Mart and will soon be available at Massy Stores.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
supporting we own here.
Also, go on to my YouTube channel, like and subscribe.
Yes.
Everybody turn on that notification button because I have so many good stuff in store coming soon. Check out my brand new song Drama if you have not heard it yet. It's doing fantastic. So thank you guys so much for having me here.
It's a pleasure, darling. See you guys next week Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Island Girl Talk, where women are free to simply be unapologetically. Bye, guys. Keep it classy.
I see so many of these girls. They think you're giving me the world, but they don't know. They don't